Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm supposed to taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever signed. It's right here.
You are a one-of-one?
My son's right about it.
I don't think I've ever said this before.
Okay, folks, we got a lot of things to cover. The Jubilee interview apparently came out on Sunday, and a lot of reaction to it. I was trying to be nice. I offered $23.50 to renunciate somebody's citizenship. They said no. I offered jobs. I offered to take them to doctors. They said no. We're going to talk about that today. Jillian goes on CNN, and how dare she talk about where slavery was with South, North, and South, and the percentage, and not all white people were slave owners. That was like breakthrough. Like everybody was like, oh my God, I thought it was like 100% of whites. And then there's stories, the Netflix comes out, New York Times article. Jillian's like been the talk of town. So Jillian's in town with us, the great one and only Jillian Michaels.
Thanks, boss.
And then we got Epstein, the 1 minute clip. Guys, the 1 minute clip was released of the Epstein.
Really? The one that they said that didn't exist?
No, the one that they said every night at midnight it rolls over and they cut 1 minute of it.
Weird.
It's normal
Weird.
that they do it.
Weird.
Well, that minute was finally released with the 30,000 documents yesterday or something like that.
Rob read all of them.
And in the 1 minute clip, you see a guy. So who knows? Maybe that guy's just going to. You didn't see this?
No.
Nancy Mace comes out of the hearing, listening to everybody crying. She walks out so fast. It was just disturbing to see. But we got a lot of other stories to go through, guys. We got a lot of other stories to go through. Trump's health scare. Is it anything? He finally reacted to it yesterday. He's like, what do you want me to do? It's a Labor Day weekend. It's a long weekend. I'm trying to enjoy myself. But he reacted to it finally yesterday. It's wild because the last guy would never do it. Nobody was worried. This guy, because he talks to the press every day, one day he doesn't talk to them, the guy's sick, right? The expectation is a whole different place. The 33,000 documents, Epstein will cover that. National Guard, Chicago. We have to cover what's going on with Chicago. Folks, over the weekend, 7 people killed, 54 in Chicago were shot. Pritzker is walking with a journalist that's asking him questions. He's doing his daily exercise. Of course, for sure, he exercises hardcore. But he's walking, Pritzker, and when he's walking, the lady asks him, so what do you say to the people that, 7 people were killed, 54 were shot? He's like, we know that's what happens with big cities. But let me tell you about Trump. You have to see this clip, how out of touch the guy is. I'd love to see him do a town hall that doesn't include a Zoom, like an actual town hall. So Trump applauds the very popular D.C. mayor, Bowser. What a great name. Wasn't Bowser like a bad guy in a Super Mario Brothers or something like that?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was like the main bad guy.
It's actually fitting. Like Mayor Bowser, Chicago, kind of goes together. For crime decrease, calls on either blue states, governors to allow National Guard. Chinese, Russian, Indian leaders pledge cooperation. You see a handshake of them looking at each other like, hey, we're united on the same page. Cuomo, a new poll comes out from CBS. This poll says that Andrew Cuomo can beat Mamdani in a mayor race only if everybody else, including Adams, drops out. He can potentially beat him. Pashinyan, Prime Minister of Armenia, apparently watched the podcast we did with Netanyahu when Netanyahu recognized the Armenian genocide. And the Prime Minister of Armenia sides with Erdogan from Turkey.
What?
And Armenians are like, they're kind of confused. Wait a minute. Aren't you Armenian? Oh, because you're doing a deal with Azerbaijan. Now you're... Oh. So the people that did the atrocities to your people, you're citing. Little confusing. Maybe we'll have some thoughts on it. Ray Lewis, a clip was leaked, Rob. I don't know how it was leaked. A clip was leaked of the podcast with Shannon Sharp and, true story. And then all of a sudden, everybody's trying to find out what this Ray Lewis interview is.
Whoa.
It's coming out tomorrow. So stay tuned. It's going to come out tomorrow. By the way, for those of you guys that love Ray Lewis, he's almanacked. You can actually ask him any questions. He's almanacked. Yesterday, I talked to Rob O'Neill, the guy that killed Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Asked him a lot of weird questions. He's also almanacked. You can ask him almanacked as well. Both of those guys are there. Robert O'Neill and Ray Lewis.
Cool.
And then I'll have a couple clips where we'll react to what do you call it, the Jubilee stuff. We had a few business stuff to talk about. This guy that took the hat. Did you see the guy that snatched the hat from the kid at a U.S. Open?
The CEO,
the
Polish,
CEO.
Polish guy.
What he said afterwards
he was like,
is
hey,
the best.
Yeah, I won't give it
What
away.
he said afterwards is the best. The best, what he said. It's just pure. The guy needs a TV show. Yeah. Families flock to top-rated school districts at a price. Tom's got some thoughts on that. And we got a few other things that I'm sure we're going to get into as well. Anyways, guys, couple things I want you to be thinking about. As, everything's going on. We're about to go to the vault. Sunday, everybody's going to Orlando. It's going to be craziness. We're excited to see all of you guys that are going to the vault. The one thing I want to tell you is more and more and more, I want to encourage everybody to do this. If you support CNN and what they stand for, buy their gear, represent it. If you support what Nike stands for, buy their gear, support it. If you support any media company, any podcast, whatever they stand for, comedians, whether it's Kill Tony, whether it's Schultz, whether it's Rogan, whether it's anybody you support, their values represent their gear. If you watch our show and you believe that the future looks bright, I encourage you to support it. This allows us to hire more people. This allows us to grow our business. This allows the brand to get out there. This allows other people to be confused when you go into work with a gym and you got a future looks bright on. People are like, wait a minute. What, you really believe the future looks bright? You really believe that? Like, don't you think this should be communistic? No, man, I really believe the future looks bright. Seriously, you're a little weird. I am. And you're negative. And you're pessimistic, and I'm not. So if you're optimistic and you believe the future looks bright, go represent. That green combo is my favorite. That future looks bright shirt and hat combo, my favorite. It looks absolutely sick when you have it right in front of you as well. And by the way, at the Vault Conference, for the first time in the history of hats, we're launching the first gold hat ever. The hat has got the future looks bright, gold, and the logo on the side is gold. You get a certificate of authenticity, but it's only at the people that are going to be at the vault. It's only 15 of them.
Real gold.
Real gold.
That looks ridiculous.
It literally looks ridiculous. But anyways, if you believe the future looks bright, go to vtmerch.com, place an order. I believe the first 100 people that place an order get a mug or a keychain or some trinkets being sent to you as well. That's the mug that you get, the first 100 to go place the order. So go place your order at vtmerch.com. We'll get that stuff over to you guys. All right. So, Jillian, how you doing?
I'm doing good, boss.
You good?
How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. So here's what I want to start off with. I just want to start off with Jillian first. Rob, can we pull up this clip with CNN? I mean, I don't know what Jillian's been inside the tornado. I don't know if you guys know what it means when you're inside a tornado. When you're inside the tornado, it's chaotic. Everybody wants to take you down. Text messages, Netflix. You don't even know what Jillian did to people. And Jillian, these comments are racist comments and da-da-da-da-da. Well, here's Jillian on CNN. She's there talking to them. And she states some facts. And God forbid you do that. They lost their mind. Go ahead, Rob.
He's not whitewashing slavery. So
he's not?
He's not. No,
okay.
He's not. And you cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does. But let's talk about the fact that when you look at
slavery,
let's talk about the fact.
Slavery in America was.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans owned slaves?
But it was a system of white supremacy.
You realize that slavery is thousands of years old?
White people.
Do you know who was the first race to try to end slavery?
Wait a second.
Well, what's controversial?
I'm very surprised.
This is an extraordinary exercise in historical revisionism.
I'm really surprised.
Do you realize that?
Jillian, I'm surprised that you're trying to litigate who was the beneficiary of slavery and who was not.
What I'm trying to tell you is that
in the context of American history,
okay.
in the context of American history, what are you saying is incorrect by saying that
it
was white people oppressing black people?
Every single thing is like, oh, no, this is all because white people bad. And that's just not the truth. Like, for example, every single exhibit, I have a list of every single one. Like, people migrated from Cuba because white people bad. Not because of Castro. Yes, no, it's in there. That's what I'm saying. You don't actually know what's in there. Do you know that when you walk in the front door, the first thing you see is a gay flag?
Jillian, you have a lot of stuff in front of you.
Yeah, I do,
what
because I don't, because here's the thing.
Are you talking about?
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, please.
There's one called Change Your Game, right? This has been an installation there. Is gender testing fair in sports? Does that, and then it goes on to talk about how it's complex to do gender testing in sports. It's not complex. It's basic science. That's untrue. It's XX chromosome, XY chromosome. That's sports. Is it fair to have biological men competing against biological women in sports No, but why is this in the Smithsonian? So it's been completely captured.
First of all, I don't.
And it's totally partisan.
First of all, we don't have time to litigate all of this.
Of course we don't, because then you're going to lose.
But I do.
What are you trying to do to me now?
Yeah.
From the top.
You can pause it right there. You can pause it right there. So what happened after this when you left? It was trending. It was all over the place.
Oh, my gosh.
What happened?
Well, the right basically came out and was like, oh, my God, thank God somebody said something. And there are certain characters on the right speaking out about it. And you guys had an incredible podcast talking about it. But then, of course, the left is like, oh, she's a racist. And she's trying to suggest that whites didn't perpetuate slavery in America and that slavery's good. And I don't know, is completely mischaracterized and manipulated, but on purpose. And then Abby Phillip came out and began lying. And my favorite part is when she goes on Kara Swisher and flat out lies and says, we were just having a conversation about the arts. And she tries to litigate slavery in America. So if you're watching that, Julie Rodzinski calls MAGA racist. She's like, we have to retell history so we don't offend the MAGA base. Mm-hmm. Then she makes some sort of Hitlerian reference to Trump with the whole dear leader thing, which I'm so sick of. Yeah. And then I'm about to nail her, right? Because I know that none of the exhibits the administration has taken umbrage with are about slavery, because I reached out to the comms team and they sent me 53 pages. Not one of these installations had anything to do with slavery. So she goes, slavery's bad and we should talk about it. And that's when I was like, okay, we can have two separate conversations. One, about the fact that nothing here is about slavery. And two, if we're going to talk about slavery, then let's have a detailed conversation about slavery in America. And for some reason, we never tell the other side of the story about the fact that at the eve of the Civil War, the entire North had banned it, despite how profitable it was, and that 350,000 men died to end it. We have cemeteries dedicated to them. And this is the part that having a white son and a black daughter is really distressing to me. I want my daughter to know that not all white people are bad. Sorry, that's important to me. That there were really good white people that died to end this. And I want my son to know that there were really good white men that fought for what's right. And I want him to be like that. And that's just the truth. There are two sides of this history.
Jillian, what? Because I mean, we see it all the time. Why do you think like these people, like people at CNN and all, they just want to keep pushing the narrative of,
I know,
as if we own. By the way, you're not from. My family's not from. But they make me feel like I own slaves. I'm like, bro, nobody in my family's here. Why do they keep pushing it? And you can tell by the she loves the word litigate. She said it 5 times. Why keep pushing it? Why keeping the division going?
My thought is because it's profitable. Because people run campaigns on it, they raise money on it, because when we're fighting amongst ourselves and we're not uniting, we can't really pay attention to policies and legislation and the bigger issues that are going on. I think if we actually unite as a country, we're capable of incredible things. But if you keep us fighting amongst ourselves with this evil rhetoric, and I think that is the goal. You can maintain total control because we're not really paying attention to the big things that are going on.
Yeah, I was watching something this morning. A guy tells a story, which, by the way, I can see this happening. And I do think there's a lot of value in there. When Eisenhower won his last election, can you see what year Eisenhower won? 60% of African Americans voted for him. He's a Republican. What do you mean 60% of African Americans voted for him? 60% of African Americans voted for him. Yeah. Can you find out the year if you don't mind? I think it is 56. Yeah, you're right, Tom. I do want to say it's 56 when he won. So 52 and then 56 is the second one. If you're yeah. So 60% of African Americans voted for a Republican Eisenhower, pro-military. What? Mm-hmm. They did? Yes. Give or take. Fast forward a few years later. MLK's in prison. His wife calls Nixon to help him out. MLK, they're Republicans. They call Nixon, the wife, to help him out. Nixon doesn't call back. The team just blows him off. And it wasn't Nixon. It was one of Nixon's people that called. And they're like, whatever, forget about it. He calls John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy picks up the call. They say, we have your back. We'll take care of you. The next election, 70% of African Americans voted for Kennedy.
Wow.
Wow.
You add that, you add Barry Goldwater, all of it together. The African Americans I know, they're conservatives. The way the parents you meet, they're conservatives. And then now you're seeing, going from that flip, the phone call, Coretta King was terrified of her husband's safety. She later recalled that then Vice President Nixon, Republican candidate who had known Dr. King, never reached out to her during the crisis. On the other hand, John F. Kennedy did. They expressed the concern. The pastor flipped from being a Republican to a Democrat. The rest is history. Wow. So this being one of them. So empathy matters. Being available matters. Being accessible matters. Playing politics and taking a call and say, listen, this is the thing that Trump does, by the way.
Yep.
So if you think about what Trump does as Biden, Hillary Clinton, too busy, can't do this, Kamala Harris, there's no way I'm going to go to the Rogan podcast. Trump's like, let's go 3 hours. What do you want to ask me? No question. Don't prep me. Let's talk. I'm doing campaign, going all over the place. He comes to us. The power in politics of being available, taking a phone call, Jillian, my opinion, I think they're done today. Because when Bill Maher gets up and says, the Jubilee people, they're being criticized. I don't know if you saw the Jubilee founder, the main guy's asking him a question saying, hey, why is it that you guys, the Jubilee community that you go to, they're liberals. They're not Republicans.
Right.
Most people are like, oh, the Charlie Kirk program or this new conservative thing, Jubilee. It's not at all. They asked him a question and says, how come you guys don't have more liberals to come and debate? And why? He says, not only do they not show up, but because they want us to give the questions for them to go to.
Oh, really?
So I think the argument, and even the African-American lady that was on Jubilee, they got destroyed when they were on. I don't know if you saw that or not. It was embarrassing. College students, because logic and common sense wins. So now let me go into the story and I'll come back to you. Chicago this weekend, 54 shot, 7 killed. These are facts. These are stats. President Trump tweets saying we have to do something about it. Pritzker's playing politics. Pritzker's being interviewed, Rob, if you can play that clip on Pritzker being interviewed. The lady's asking him a question. 54 were shot, 7 dead. He gives a 2-second answer, and then look what he does immediately. Go ahead, Rob.
To hear people, especially this past weekend, 54 shot, 7 dead.
Yeah.
They're going to say the city's not safe. Would you ask your friends to ride the L after midnight or after, 9 o'clock at night even to come down to the city from O'Hare?
Look, big cities have crime. There's no doubt about it. But let's just pay attention to what President Trump is doing targeting Chicago.
What
is that?
Big cities have crime.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. They have
Trump,
a problem.
But Trump.
But let me tell you what Trump is doing. So this was 32 separate shootings in Chicago.
Reported, meaning they said that there was way more. Yeah.
Pritzker rejected Trump's threats, stating National Guard troops or any kind of troops on the streets of an American city don't belong unless there's an insurrection, unless there's truly an emergency, and there is not, and vowed to sue if troops are deployed, saying it's an invasion with U.S. troops. If they, in fact, do that, they'll be in court pretty quickly. Mayor Brandon Johnson, at a Workers Over Billionaires march on Sunday, declared no troops in Chicago, invest in Chicago. This is President Trump. Go ahead. Bless you, Minnie.
Thank you.
Well, we're going in. Yes. I didn't say when. We're going in. When you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing. I have an obligation. When we lose, when 20 people are killed over the last 2.5 weeks and 75 are shot with bullets. So let me tell you a little story about a place called D.C., District of Columbia, right here where we are.
You maybe never heard of it.
It's now a safe zone. We have no crime. It's in such great shape. You can go and actually walk with your children, your wife, your husband. You can walk right down the middle of the street. You're not going to be shot, Peter. You're safe. Everyone likes you anyway. They probably wouldn't do it. But it's so dangerous.
But don't tempt me, buddy.
There are people in this audience that you've suffered greatly. There are people in this audience that have been mugged and hurt badly, and they don't want to talk about it. Maybe you were very brave in talking about it. You made quite an impression on a lot of people. I appreciate it. But there were other people in this room that have been hurt very badly just walking down the street in D.C. Washington, D.C. is a safe zone right now. It's a safe.
So this is the part, Jillian, where you can scream as loud as you want, and then numbers comes out, and then there's logic, and then there's results. And then you can sit there and even the people that voted for, who you voted for, now disagree with you saying, no, I kind of like what he's doing. So I think their debate is kind of getting hurt by facts, data, proving that American people want to be safe. What do you think about that?
First of all, you said a key word there. You said Trump's threat to go into Chicago. A threat? Yeah. I heard him say, I hope Pritzker reaches out to me. I want to work across the aisle. Let's solve this problem for Americans. It's an offer. It's not a threat. Yeah. And the fact that Trump derangement syndrome is so significant that Democrats would argue crime is not really a problem. I would say one murder that can be stopped is one murder too many. Yeah. I think that they are losing their shit, honestly, boss. And that's why their approval ratings are in the toilet. This is crazy. Yeah. This is nonpartisan.
But 35-year low, according to Wall Street Journal. And by the way, Morning Joe, who couldn't stand Trump, every day he had a chance to trash him, he did. Eventually agreed to go to Mar-a-Lago to meet with him. This is the advice Morning Joe, Joe Scarborough from CNBC, just gave to Pritzker. Listen to this.
Concern is you have leaders in Chicago that see this, as you say. We've been reading about this for years now, every weekend, and maybe crime has gone down. But, we had the mayor of Chicago on last week saying, we don't need any more police officers. Police officers aren't the answer. No police officers. I think he said no 5 times. You look what's happening this weekend. You look so, I actually think that J.B. Pritzker should do something radical.
Here we go.
I think he should pick up the phone, call the president, and say, and I know, you don't have the constitutional authority to deploy the National Guard here and to police my. You can do that in D.C., you can't do that in Chicago. But let's partner up. These are the most dangerous parts of my state. We would love to figure out how to have a partnership that's constitutional, that respects the sort of balance of federalism between the federal government and the state government. And let's work together to save lives. Because right now, just hey, nothing to see here moving along. No problem here. Hey, Donald Trump.
There you go.
We don't need you.
Pause it right there.
The mayor talking about.
It's pretty bad when a guy like that has to flip and agree with Trump. And he doesn't want to, but he's like, shit, I got to do it because you don't make sense. Tom, your thoughts on this?
Well, when you have bad ratings, liberal policy talking points don't work, and you're threatened to lose your job, you get the new Joe Scarborough, who is actually taking a rational thing because he's like, man, I don't want to get shot, so, metaphorically speaking, like some of these other anchors with big contracts that have been getting shot out of their chairs because of low ratings and things. And suddenly he comes out like Bill Maher with a measured position, number one. Number two, I think he's right. This is exactly what J.B. Pritzker should be doing. And J.B. isn't even the mayor. He's the governor. The governor is the one that has the authority to pick up the phone and say, Mr. President, I need you to declare this a disaster area because of flooding, disaster area because of earthquakes in California, disaster area because of wildfires. Oh, more fires. Okay, well, Gavin doesn't call. But he has the authority to do it. And he has the obligation to do it, Mr. President. And you know why? Because when you declare a place a disaster area, you're eligible for federal funds you don't have to pay back or pay for as a state. So JB has at his disposal the ability to reach out. And I think Scarborough is actually right. Why doesn't JB do that? Instead, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. That is the only thing. Trump bad is their blankie. They have to stay on emotional cause points because if they get to rational logic points, it's like the reason that the liberals won't go on Jubilee. Because if you sit in a room, words talk, numbers scream, and be rational, they can't handle that. So he needs the emotional reaction, which is the tyrant is being authoritarian and he's coming here against the Constitution. That's an emotional point that doesn't get to how many people are sitting there making arrangements after the weekend to attend a ceremony or ceremonies for the loved ones? There's a hell of a lot. And I don't care if crime's down. Those numbers are horrifying.
Just the way he handled it. I'm just so, like, this is President Trump tweets this. 6 people were killed, 24 were shot in Chicago last weekend. J.B. Pritzker, the weak and pathetic governor of Illinois, just said that he doesn't need help in preventing crime. He is crazy. He better straighten it out fast or we're coming. MAGA president. He responds back. Pritzker in the middle. Why don't you send everyone proof of life first? Either way, Chicago doesn't want you here. So then I respond back and I say, why don't you do a town hall in Chicago and ask families if they want the National Guard? Invite folks from Englewood, Garfield Park, North Lauderdale, to see whether Chicago wants Trump or not. I forgot. You only do virtual town halls. By the way, during his time of being a president, he has only done virtual town halls. He doesn't do live town halls. He's afraid of his voters. Adam, your thoughts on this?
Well, everything here is what I would call the Sir Mix-a-Lot defense, the big buts. And I cannot lie. Everything is a pivot away from what's actually happening. It's the but Trump, but racism, but Gaza. How about you stay in the moment and address what's actually happening? The hardest thing to do, just like Trump just did with Muriel Bowser, is he said, shout out to the mayor of D.C. You got to give her credit because she actually acknowledged D.C. has a problem. And rather than being like, but Trump, she goes, yeah, we actually need some help. Because in my opinion, they're playing politics rather than actually trying to make progress. You always talk about in business, the goal isn't to be perfect, it's to actually make progress. What progress have we seen come out of Chicago in the last 20 years? Any city in America that's nicknamed after Iraq, Chirac, you probably got a problem, homie. Put the guns down and let's start saving some lives.
Guys, Adam became gangster.
That's true.
It just doesn't make any sense.
I learned it from time. I'm just excited. Did you guys miss it?
I'm a little scared.
On a health note, he was walking in the morning.
Ozempic.
Well, dude, he was doing that. But you know what? I do hope when it comes to number. What? I'm serious. He was trying. It's the voters. I hope, because we talk about. I hope the voters are paying attention. It's like clockwork. Every holiday, everybody tunes into the news to see how many people died in Chicago. It's a bloodbath. So I hope they're paying attention because this guy, just like the majority, especially the mayor of Chicago, they're playing politics, like you said, Tommy, but people are dying. Sons, fathers, daughters, kids and drive-bys getting hit in the head. I hope that they wake up because it's not stopping anytime soon.
Well, let's go to the next story here. Next story I want to go to is Epstein. So very interesting because if you remember, they kept talking about a clip was missing from the recording at night. So yesterday, they released 33,000 docs released after accusers met with lawmakers. Rob, when I'm doing this, please show Nancy Mace when she's leaving the place and her reaction. Well, let me read the story to you first. So they meet with lawmakers. A lot of them heard the testimony of the individuals. The House Committee and Oversight Government Reform released 33,295 pages of Jeffrey Epstein-related records from U.S. Department of Justice on Tuesday, including videos from the 2005 Palm Beach Police Department investigation and Ghislaine Maxwell's DOJ interview with the committee stating on August 5th, Chairman Cuomo issued a subpoena for records related to Jeffrey Epstein and the Department of Justice and indicated it will continue producing those records while ensuring the redaction of victim identification, identities, and any child sexual abuse. Representative Anna Paulina, after meeting with 6 Epstein victims, stated the victims themselves have stated this is a lot bigger than I think anyone anticipated. There are some very rich and powerful people that need to go to jail. It is very much a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligent asset, or you're going back to it now, working for the adversary, but also question who he is. How much did our government know about it? A House vote on Wednesday aims to formalize the inquiry and ensure further releases. Here's Representative Nancy Mace, a recent assault survivor, left the meeting early, overwhelmed, stating on X, as a recent survivor, not 2 years in, I had a very difficult time listening to their stories, full-blown panic attack, sweating, hyperventilating, shaking, I can't breathe. I feel the immense pain of how hard all victims are fighting for themselves because we know absolutely no one will fight for us. God bless all our survivors. Here's her, by the way, leaving. She's crying, yeah. So that's Nancy Mace. And by the way, Nancy's tough.
Oh,
you're not talking to somebody that's
character for
it's not. Yeah. She's super tough. And so there's a couple clips I want to show you. This is one of them, Rob, Anna Paulina, and then the other one is the jail clip that they finally released. Go ahead, Rob.
The biggest thing that stands out to me is the victims themselves have stated that this is a lot bigger than I think anyone anticipated. We are obviously going to be requesting the SARS reports from Treasury and also following up on that. There are some very rich and powerful people that need to go to jail. I think everyone's been frustrated as to why that hasn't happened before. But it is very much so a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset working.
Right, but here's the clip of the jail cell, okay? So when you watch this is, look for the movement all the way in the back, top left corner. You see something moving back there? Okay. So this is the clip that they didn't release. It was 3 minutes hidden. It's finally out. Watch the movement in the back where Rob is putting the arrow at. You see that? It'll keep moving in a minute. Watch a person. Nobody knows who it is. He's just going to simply walk to the right.
Oh, this isn't a ghost, Pat? This isn't a ghost, right?
No,
oh,
no.
okay. Just want to make sure it's not an apparition.
Keep watching. What happens
That's a big
here?
word, Vinny.
Thank you.
Right there. Who's that person?
What? Oh, he's wearing all black. Oh, weird. Who's that?
Nobody knows.
Huh.
Nobody knows what happened there. So guess what? By the way, this is the part about the sequencing, how dumb of a sequencing they took. If they would have released the footage with the guy walking, you think people are not going to know you cut 3 minutes. Now that you put this, now people know you're hiding something.
Right.
If you would have just left it.
Why'd you lie about it in the first place? I was just thinking, I thought they released the whole thing and there was no minute missing
3 minutes.
because it reset itself. So that was a total lie.
What do you think's going on here, Jillian? I mean, I don't know if we've spoken about this before. What do you think there's anything here? You think there was something? I watched the documentary with Ghislaine Maxwell on Netflix, or I watched his documentary as well. And you see these girls saying, I went there, I decided not to, but I brought 24 girls back to him. Every time I did, he paid me $200. And one time I brought a 14-year-old girl. Cops told me, you're part of it because you're over 18. You're facing jail time. How about me? How about this? You're reading these stories. It's just unreal.
No, there's overwhelming evidence. We've talked about it on your show
Yeah.
previously. The guy is somehow related to intelligence, whether he's CIA, whether he's Mossad, whether he's both. Clearly, there is so much more here than meets the eye, and they are absolutely covering it up. The part that I'm kind of personally disappointed is Kash Patel and Bongino, who are good guys, telling us just a couple of months ago, there's nothing here, there's nothing else to release. Well, you just released 30,000 more documents and 3 more minutes of footage, so what do you mean? You're the head of the FBI. What are you talking about? I don't love that because I did like those two guys. I'm a bit confused. Maybe I'm missing something.
No, you're not. No, you're not, because that was that for leading up to the election. That's all you saw. Because by the way, I don't think Dan Bongino knows he was going to get that position. But Dan was I saw this. I talked to this. Trust me, I know this. And then when they came in, it was a different story. But Jillian, no, I agree with you 100%. I'm actually proud though that people like Thomas, because remember, Henry Anton, the number, nobody cares about Epstein. Who cares? Who cares? No. I'm so proud of Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna from different sides of the aisle, not letting this die out. Okay, because you see freaking Nancy Mace, she's a freaking survivor of sexual assault and rape. And that means she's in there hearing these girls reliving her own freaking trauma. And Pat nailed it. She was sitting right here. She is tough. No, she is stone cold. So for that to come out, and what Representative Luna was saying, guys, is that there's all these victims and all these victims. When there's a victim, there's an offender, there's an assailant, okay? And she said this. She said, it is possible that he was a foreign intelligence asset, and rich and powerful people need to go to jail. I want, and we've been saying this, Adam, for how many months now? Accountability. Give us one. Okay, with COVID, we're not going to get nothing because they freaking gave Fauci a pardon. So we're screwed.
2014.
We are screwed in that sense, but we want a person. She said, rich and powerful, give us one. I want somebody to go down. Please, God.
I actually respect Vinny's opinion on this. I've been pretty clear that, you know, when it comes to signal and noise, this is a whole bunch of noise to me. But that doesn't mean it's not important. That doesn't mean there's nothing to see here. Doesn't mean there doesn't need to be accountability. Here's what I know. Remember when they talked about the Henry Anton thing, and they're like, we polled 1,000 people, and one person was interested. They go, 1% of people are interested in Epstein? No, one person. But here's what I know about that one person. They are the loudest mother suckers in the room, man. They are not going to let this thing drop. So there's people out there who are like, look, I'm just trying to pay the bills, put food on the plate, work, raise my family, all that. I get that. But then there's people who are like, I don't care what I got to do. I am not dropping this Epstein thing. And people like you are not going to let this go.
Yeah.
So
and mind you that we keep seeing it. Like, it keeps popping up. You just showed a video. So wait, that means Pam Bondi, you lied to us.
Exactly.
You're the attorney general. You're the highest law enforcement.
That's what I'm
Pam Bondi.
Blondie.
Oh, yeah, my bad. And it's like,
Have a little respect.
And Pat, I love that you said that. What? You think we're stupid? You think we're not? You think the nerds that are out there are going to take that video, put in AI, and say, you guys are freaking lying? So obviously, to me, my opinion, that means the people that are involved are still hovering and circling around like vultures going, don't do that, Better not do that. He's on this. We have a relationship with this. It drives me bananas.
I'm with Pat. I don't like the precedent. And I'll tell you what also I don't like. What I don't like, this feels like history repeating itself. 4 frames missing from the Zapruder film, frames 208 to 211, been missing for a long time. Oh, we were working with Life magazine. They were trying to do some editing, and wait, you were letting a reporter from Life magazine actually do some editing on the single most important piece of evidence since the atomic spy case? Are you kidding me? Number one. Number two, then they said, oh, we don't have the radio recordings from the police radios. Those came out later. In the Kennedy, I'm talking about Kennedy, right? Yeah. Oh, and now those recordings are available where you put on headphones at the National Memorial and Historical Site, which is the 6th Avenue Book Depository in Dallas. You put them on there and it says, please listen to the 4 shots. You can clearly hear the sound and what's recoil and report of these 4 shots. Oh, so now there's 4 shots. Yeah. And it's out there. But it was all trickled out. It was all available. And this feels like it's just a repeat of history. It was like 2 years later, 3 years after Warren Commission, found the 4 frames of the Zapruder film. You know what? There's a little hitch here. So could have been shot from the front, could have been shot from the back. And it's not just Oliver Stone writing his movie and saying back and to the right, back and to the right. You know, he was talking about
what are you thinking here?
Things. What I think here is sorry about that. They're bleeding out this drip, drip, drip. And it looks like the movie we've seen before. And it reduces the credibility. It doesn't improve the trust that Americans need to have in their government. Trust is what they need to restore. So sometimes you tear off the Band-Aid and say, this is what happened, this is what's going on, and this is what we've got.
Let me tell you one thing, though, Tom. You ready for this? Okay. I'm going to ask this question. I'm curious to know what you're going to say. John F. Kennedy, the shooting happens. The Dallas shooting happens today. You think they get away with it? Today.
No. Camera phones and everything that's everywhere in recordings, no way.
Thomas Crook.
That's right. Do you think so?
Who
You
is
still think they get away with it?
Hell yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So do you think Thomas Crooks was a similar story to the one with John F. Kennedy that was trying to take Trump out?
I mean, what do we know about this kid? How about a donut hole? Nothing.
My opinion, Pat.
We know they had a garden hose on the roof one day later.
Especially with all the shots, Pat, and all the footage that they have, the bullets hitting in different angles. I don't think it was only him as well. He was going to be the patsy. He wasn't going to come out alive at all. So yeah,
okay.
I agree.
So where I'm at with this is the following. Here's where I'm at with this. I think there is 2 different types of noise. There's real noise. There's bad noise. The hardest part about life is to be able to differentiate which noise is valid, which noise is not. Because you can sit there and look at the noise, oh my God, look at all the people that are being killed. But Muslims are being killed by a bunch of different people. How come you're not? Okay, that's a good question. Why are you not paying attention to the only because it's this? Okay, fair. All right, maybe that's a good argument. So many people don't blah, 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 this. Yeah, why are you not looking at what's going on in these liberal cities? No, it's because okay, well, you lose the argument, right? For me with this, on the people that are making noise now, and you're seeing Anna Paulina, I don't know if Anna Paulina, I think when I watch Anna Paulina's body language there, she's a little bit conflicted because she's concerned who's on that list. That's the vibe I got from her. Nancy Mace walks out emotionally because of what happened to her the last 2 years. Yeah. The trouble today, Vinny, why I think neither this or the COVID thing is going to go away, I don't know if Fauci is going to go to jail. There's less than a 0.1% chance he's going to jail. I'm not interested in him going to jail or not going to jail. I'm more interested in this becoming clear evidence of what they did so the next guy cannot use it and do it. Him going to jail doesn't make any difference in my life. What does happen is we find that the games you played, you can't do it again. We find that the games China played, you can't do it again, or any other country. I'm interested in permanent prevention of what could possibly happen in the future. That's what my concern is. And when I see this taking place today, what this is taking place today is this is showing the fact that all of those things that they kept talking about, the audience was right. You did hide 3 minutes. Now you leaked it. The audience was right about that. All these documentaries are right. And when I had, what's his name on, Michael Wolff on, and we had a conversation with him about Epstein, and he's telling me, yeah, all these guys showed up. You're telling me there isn't assets? I mean, I have a hard time believing that. Now, I can tell you, like, Ehud Barak visits, 32 times, 36 times to the house. And I asked Michael Wolff, I said, when you were at his $55 million, $77 million property, biggest private residence that Lex Wexner that just gifted him, and he even asked Lex Wexner later on why he gifted him. What do you mean he gifts him? Who the hell gifts anybody a $77 million biggest private residence in Manhattan? Nobody does that for no reason. And why was Ehud Barak there? Oh, he would always show up. Why? Just because he would be telling, he was a gas bag. What did he call it? Rob, what was the word he used?
Gas bag was
gas
the right
bag,
word.
yeah. And then, he's visiting for shits and giggles. When he said, Epstein was a guy that couldn't keep secrets, he would always talk and he's always saying stuff. And I said, was that painting of Clinton in the house? Yeah, it was there. Where was it at? Right next to the bathroom. Wait, we were told that painting is not real and maybe it's fake and maybe it's this. Now you're there and a guy that doesn't hate Trump but didn't vote for Trump, dislikes him, says that is there. We're supposed to sit there and think there is no ties? Just tell us the truth. What happened? It's okay. It's not like we're not going to be making mistakes. So to me, I'm glad this is happening. And I'm glad that if it happens to if you ever notice somebody who is overly emotional about something like this, it's probably because something happened to them in their lives or something happened to somebody they love in their lives. And if somebody reacts to it like, yeah, whatever, probably nothing happened to them in their lives or they did something in their lives that they're kind of like, hey, let me be careful with this. I'm just glad they're making progress with this. And let's see what happens next. By the way, all they had to do at the beginning, Jillian, come out, sequencing, we're on the same page, release, here's what we know, here's what we don't know. If you know anything, reach out to us. This is the info. We're releasing it to you, and let's move on. It would have been a 6-week, story cycle and gone. Now you're extending it. You're not because we want to extend it, because you're making it extend. And that's a flaw on their end. It's a mistake they made.
But boss, here's the thing. And Tom, you said this, and I'm never going to forget it. If Epstein is intelligence, right, then that means our tax dollars are essentially using children as sex slaves to leverage what? You think they're going to tell us that?
Sure.
No friggin' way, guys.
Yeah, and last thing, Pat, and the only thing
you don't think nothing comes out?
Oh, hell no.
I'm with her. And here's my thing, Pat.
No.
The only reason I say, because some people don't care about jail. My thing is, if there's no accountability and none of them go inside of a prison cell, then it'll never stop. Because no matter how we change the system, the people in, like the FBI, Peter Strzok, all them, this is the FBI. There's still going to be rogue people in there. They're still going to have their own agenda. And even if it comes out, the system's set up to where none of them goes to jail. None of them will. And that's why I'm with her. Nothing is going to happen to none of these people. The only person, Pat, is going to keep them accountable is God. That's the only comfort that I have, is they're going to get judged, because it's not going to happen here. It's not. I don't have faith in the system.
You don't think anything's going to happen to these guys?
Absolutely not.
No way.
Zero.
You don't think nothing happens to the Fauci people?
Nope.
You don't think there's going to be any accountability where history is going to be able to reveal what happened here?
I think the evidence is out that people know exactly what happened.
Yes. Accountability now, courtroom hearings, things like that. No.
Yeah. So which is more important? Where are you at? Which is more important? Which is more important? To me, accountability-wise, you know what happens when you're somebody that you do bad things. Who ends up eventually coming and getting you? Either the man upstairs or some people that were emotionally involved in that story. They find a way to come to you. For me, my level of optimism here is this is so wide with so many kids involved. It's so many different places. It's going to be very hard to hide this. And with COVID, this is so wide. This is so involved with different countries and the way it was handled. You have to be ready for the next one. Because if we're not, they're going to be able to use the same exact principles of what they did to us again. I am convinced that some of the guys are going to fight on the inside to get to it. Watch this. Thomas Massie. Is Thomas Massie a friend of President Trump?
No.
Is he a pro-Israel guy or is he a pro-AIPAC guy?
No.
Does he have an AIPAC representative working with him?
No.
No, he does not. They've been approached. He does not. Ro Khanna, is he a Republican or a Democrat?
Democrat.
But is he a reasonable Democrat?
Yes.
Okay. Is he a guy that has a decent relationship with Musk?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a decent relationship.
Really?
Oh, yeah, he has a decent relationship because
he's in Silicon Valley.
He's the Silicon Valley, so
yeah,
he's the guy that's there. So So he has the richest zip code out of everybody in America is what he's got. So I think the part that is going to be, these guys are going to be annoying.
Yeah, they are.
What I'm telling you is,
in a good way.
I'm looking at them. I'm annoyed.
Yeah, these guys are going to be annoying, and they're going to be going in there and just kind of keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. Eventually, something could break. Whether it does or not, I don't know. But I'm always more supportive of you believing that justice will be done, God will do his part, and convinced that the right people will step up than saying nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Because it's the same thing that when it happens in business, sometimes in business you're going to hit a point where you're about to lose everything. And you know what happens? You're like, nothing's going to, and there's always a guy or two in the room that are like, watch, we're not going to make, again, we're going to not get the funding. Again, we're not going to get the funding. And it's like, listen, man, you ain't helping. You ain't helping by having that mindset. And I know it's not something that, something that you have to agree or disagree with. All I'm saying is, for me, it takes one person to come out to do something with it, and later on forever, it's an Academy Award-winning movie that we watch, and her name is, who was the girl that came out in, that Julia Roberts played? Who did Julia Roberts play?
Erin Brockovich.
Erin Brockovich.
Oh, yeah.
You have these stories of people that come out. You're always going to be beneficial to give hope that someone is watching. Imagine if someone's watching this. The other day, I get a text message from Vince Vaughn. Hey, man, I just want to let you know, we had an hour and a half call together.
Love
okay?
Vince Vaughn.
And it's like, hey, just want to let you know, you enjoyed the Jubilee. Sends me a long message yesterday. All right, great. The people that are watching, and we see them at the hockey thing, we're having the people that watch, you don't know who's watching. Maybe Bongino's watching us late at night in a bathroom by himself. It's like, maybe you got, some of these guys are watching saying, dude, I know. Maybe. I'm hopeful that a person like that's going to watch and be like, what did Snowden do? Was he a net positive?
Positive.
What, are you kidding me? He's massive net positive.
Pull the curtain back.
Who's the other guy outside of Snowden? What was the other guy?
Julian Assange.
Are these guys net positives?
I love them.
What happened to their lives?
Destroyed. Ruined.
What happened to their lives? You don't think there's going to be another Snowden or another, Julian Assange? I think they will.
They'll give you a head on a stick, maybe Prince Andrew.
Not they. I'm not saying they.
Meaning a person.
I don't trust the government's going to tell me what I want to
way.
hear. No, I'm not trusting the government's going to tell me what they're going to tell me. The government's going to hide. That's what they're going to be doing, because this is the greatest country in the world, and if you give a leak, the enemy from the outside is going to leverage it as well. This isn't for everybody, guys. We're doing a podcast. We're not running a country.
Yeah.
Everybody can sit here and talk about all the stuff they want, and then go try running a country. I'm sorry, you didn't get elected. It's not for everybody. It's a tough job. But I do believe the Assanges, the Brockovich, the Snowdens are out there. And let me tell you, those types of people are the most annoying people in the world. The most annoying. If Snowden, who's the one that leaked the 30,000 emails in one by one, where even Chris Cuomo one time said, you shouldn't leak these emails. This is against national security for you leak these emails for the world to see it. Was it Assange or was it Snowden?
Assange. It was Assange on WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
This
he put him on blast.
Yeah, and then, but what happened? Hillary Clinton lost.
Yeah.
How many of those things played a role? Now, I'm convinced there are people like that who are not doing it for money that may come out. By the way, you don't have to agree with me. I'm going to choose to die on the sword of, I think there's statesmen out there. I think there's warriors out there. I think there's people out there that are going to be like, I'm going to put my career on the line and I want to come out and talk about it. I could be wrong. I'm always going to bet on this side. That mankind, deep down inside, all it takes is one man, one woman to step out and take that risk. One man, one woman. Do you realize a few years ago, Elon Musk has got a great life? He's an Iron Man. He's like hooking up with anybody and everybody he wants. You want to buy X? And now you are the most hated man in the world ahead of Bibi? We've done a lot of interviews, guys. A week ago, I interviewed Netanyahu. Then Jubilee comes out. I mean, obviously, Jubilee didn't perform as good as Bibi's did. I mean, we have to. The amount of love I got from doing the Bibi, like the messages, you should have seen Jillian. You're the greatest. You're amazing. I love you. Just go and read the Bibi interview and go all the way down. By the way, the like to dislike ratio is 99 to 1% like.
Wow.
Now, I'm being sarcastic. It was like the worst like to dislike ratio ever. But the idea is Elon Musk did that? He didn't have to do that. Why did he do it? His life got better? I don't think so. Got more chaotic. He's in the storm. Why did he do it? Why did Trump run again? What if he doesn't run? Say he doesn't run. Say he sits down the sidelines. DeSantis is going to beat Biden? Who's going to beat Biden? Who was the lead? Who? JD wasn't running. Vivek, they're going to allow Vivek to win. They wouldn't allow Vivek to win in 2024. Who was going to do it?
Nikki.
Nikki? Nikki wouldn't have won.
You don't think so?
No. Nikki was not likable.
Really?
She's condescending. She thinks she's above people. We invited her 50 times to come here. She's above us.
Really?
She thinks she's above you. She doesn't think she's you. But guess what? The guy Trump put his life on the line and went and ran. And so say he doesn't win. What does America look like today? Everybody's walking on eggshells doing YouTube channels. Strike, strike, strike. You think everything is going to be? No. So we have to realize there are people out there that are willing to sacrifice their lives to go do something bigger. We have to stay hopeful. At least I will. Anyways, let's show a couple clips on Jubilee. Let's talk about some of these wonderful people on Jubilee. And I don't know which one to start off with. I say we start off with, do we go with show the girl with mental illness? Is that the one?
Yes, sir.
Because she actually reacted as well. So
did she?
She did. She afterwards reacted as well. We'll play the clip. I mean, she posted it up there, so you have to see it. Here's us at Jubilee. What people don't realize is, to my right here is Adam, Vinny, Rob, Tico, Brandon, and Humberto. Yeah. Every time one of these guys laughs or moves, they don't realize I see them. I see them. Okay.
Sorry. Mateo also.
Mateo as well. Go ahead, Rob. Play the clip.
I'm also mentally ill, so that was something I had to deal with. But I'm mainly mentally ill because I am disabled in a capitalist country.
Tell me more about mentally ill. Who qualified you as somebody that's mentally ill?
Me and my doctor team.
Who convinced you that you're mentally ill?
Me and my doctor team.
What's the specific category of mental illness? Is there one? You know why I asked this question? Let me explain to you why I asked this question.
So I don't even like the psychological industry. I don't really stand for like Sigmund Freudian politics or anything like that. I don't have access to even a result or a solution to my disability as someone with a connective tissue disorder. It's genetic.
Have you been able to go to different doctors and get yourself tested?
Yeah.
You have?
Yes.
And in California?
Yes, but not enough. I can't find a specialist.
You can't find a specialist?
I can't find a specialist
for who I am.
Is there anyone in your
life that's willing to pay for a specialist?
Well, they could, they would if they had money. But yeah.
Would you be okay if I pay for a specialist for you to go see?
Yeah.
Would you take money from a capitalist to help you go see specialist?
I mean, yeah, sure, why not?
I'm going to have you go see two. Where do you live in California?
Yeah.
I'm going to have you go see two specialists. But would you also be open to seeing somebody else I choose as a psychologist that may...
No.
The reaction
you choose as a psychologist. You're choosing who gets to determine what my mental health looks like. No.
Okay, then I wish you nothing but the best. Okay, so here's a reaction. Let me show you a reaction.
So many things to say.
Here's a reaction.
Okay.
I was kind of scared of the Jubilee.
She looks better now.
And then I realized that the only people who are criticizing me are capitalists, so it makes it really easy to laugh at them. Their only gotcha for me is that I'm disabled and mentally ill. Good one, guys. And I have a septum piercing.
She's definitely mentally ill. I'm going to go out there on a limb and say that she's actually mentally ill.
I agree with you.
I feel for her.
Yeah.
But it is kind of weird. It is kind of weird though that you're like as if you were gonna find a psychologist that's gonna be a different. Like no, I just want to find out what's the mentally ill. Because I mean, we're all kind of a little crazy. But
I'm doxing her parents. Sue me.
Can I make one point?
Yeah.
If these kids are for communism, what makes them think they get to pick their own medical experts? Has anybody been to Canada? Not that it's communist. I'm just saying, socialized medicine. Like, you don't pick your doctor. It's a disaster. You get who you get. I'm confused. Does she even understand what she's fighting for? She's not going to let you pick the expert. But in any socialized medicine, you are given what you're given, period.
Do you think she was like that at 10 years old? Do you think she was like that at 5 years old?
No.
Or do you think she became like that?
She became that.
So what causes her to become like that?
Oh, I think she's got a screwed up home life boss.
That's
And
enable
society.
Yeah.
The wrong parents.
And I feel terrible about that. But
breaks my heart when I'm sitting in the room. You know, all I'm thinking about, this is someone's kid. Yep. This could be one of my relatives' kids. I'm sitting in front of watching these guys. And of course, they don't even realize this is their job resume for the rest of their lives. You don't ever, this is 2025. It's done. If I'm sitting in front of that guy and one of my employees from HR comes up and shows a picture and says, hey, do we want to hire this guy? Here's what he said. You know what? This is a resume. Mm-hmm. It's permanent. It's not temporary. While she's saying, but to me, I don't think you become like that. Here's another one, by the way. This one, I offered her to renunciate her citizenship, and she wasn't too happy about it. Go ahead.
I like to be free, but that's why I'm anti-capitalist.
Well, maybe you ought to
That
move
is
to
why
North
I'm
Korea
anti-capitalist,
or
because
Cuba or
capitalism
Venezuela.
removes that choice. There is no real incentive of capitalism because the incentive is survival. When you get into communism, the incentive is for the common good.
I love that. I got an offer for you before we move on. If I were to give you your $2,350, which is the cost to renunciate your citizenship, and I paid you your first class, flight to whatever communist country, and $20,000 of spending money,
Name me a communist country.
Would you give up your citizenship to go to that country? Whichever communist country you want to go to.
Yeah,
Cuba, we can give you Venezuela, we give you North Korea, any one of those you want to go to.
Communist countries, not
Choose any one of them, I'll give you one-way ticket, and I'll fund it for you if you want to.
That's it.
I
like to be.
She couldn't name a communist country. Okay, so I'll give you the list. Go. That's so funny.
Oops. No, I look at this and look what happens when you try to take away their blankie. That girl that's mentally ill really, it's easy to laugh and point. But what was the first comment I make? It says, I'm doxing her damn parents and you can come sue me. Because that is a valuable person under there that somewhere along the way was enabled and believed that she's mentally ill. And now she has a persona represented by her makeup and the image she projects. And her condition is her blankie. That gives her the ability to be who she is. If you take that away, she has to be accountable in a world where you have to, support yourself and do things. And she will not give up that blankie. But she ended up with it because of the way her parents did. This person, Pat, very eloquently just says, "Okay, tell you what, I'll give you the fee. Take up your citizenship, and here's 20 grand when you get there. See how long that lasts. And here's a first class ticket. Pick a country." And all of a sudden she stammers because now you're going to take away her blankie. She can't sit and just howl at the moon about capitalism sitting there right now. She would have to go to a communist country and howl at the moon about something. And then the police would come do a drum solo on her head, right? So it's like, she's not going to like how it works in real communist countries. Now go to City Hall and complain. They're like, what is up with you? Bah, 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 bah.
Here's my impression of what happened during Jubilee. You have someone named Patrick Bet-David who had a 1.8 GPA, father worked at a 99-cent store, came from Tehran, Iran, and yet still is optimistic about the future. Then you have all these kids who are born in California who are arguing in a pessimistic standpoint. And it just sounds like this. I believe in you. You can do this. Well, no. Life's not fair. No. I know life's not fair, but pull yourselves up. You can do this. Stop telling me what to think. Stop telling me what to feel. At some point, these people are lost. If you want to understand why California is broken, look no further. If you tried to put 20 people in a Jubilee type setting in Florida, my opinion is you couldn't get 20 of these people to show up. California has raised mentally ill, trans, anti-American communists, and they're just all over the place in California. You can get them at the snap of your finger. You couldn't do this.
Leave Newsom out of this.
The biggest takeaway I had from this, it's easy to find the mentally ill girl who, is clearly insane at some capacity. It's easy to find the trans person and that obviously they have some major issues. To me, the one that stood out, there was this tall, 6'4", good-looking white kid who played victim. It's like, how are you playing the victim, guy? You're a good-looking, tall, white kid in America. And at some point, not even this kid wouldn't take a job if his life depended on it. But they just have this overall victim mentality that is unshakable, no matter what you say. So you can try to help them, but they won't help themselves.
Jillian.
Okay, well, I think you've got a convergence of two cultural problems. The first one is we are infantilizing citizens, period. Everybody is a victim. And I've seen this for a while, whether you're overweight, whether you're a person of color, whether you're a young person, everybody's a victim. And they love the narrative at first because you don't have to take any agency. But I absolutely think this is by design, and I have for a while, because when you make somebody a victim, you fundamentally disempower them to make a change. So you're incapacitating our citizens, right? At the same time, you do, and we have to give a little credit to this fact. It is harder for kids today. Inflation is insane. It's outpacing the amount that they're making. They can't afford a house. They can't afford to have kids. It seems like democracy can be bought. And it isn't just these kids who seem a little crazy on this Jubilee. There's a YouGov poll that we actually covered on Her Take, and I can't remember the percentage. I think it was like 20%, Rob, of young kids today are favorable towards communism, not democratic socialism. Yeah. It was communism. So why? You definitely have a system that is being exploited. I think that's happening. I think we have to acknowledge that and look to reform it, which kind of goes back to what I was saying. When we're fighting with each other, nobody's really paying attention to who's manipulating and pulling the strings. And I think those exact same people are infantilizing these kids on purpose, so they feel incapacitated and incapable of doing anything, while simultaneously turning us all on each other.
Yeah, so imagine the part for me was, what are professors teaching in universities? Like, I almost want to find out who their favorite professor was and do a panel with them and talk to them and say, what are you doing? Yeah. You know, what are you doing bashing these people with the dreams that they may have? Families are spending $200,000-$300,000 to send their kids to their school to what? To get this? Yeah. To get this to happen to their brains, to be brainwashed like this? You know, we talked about this many years ago. I said, once my age hits 6, starts with a 6, we will consider building a school like no other. We're going to build a flipping school that we're going to develop some of the greatest leaders in the world. I am so tempted to start it earlier. I don't have the bandwidth. At 60 years old, we start talking about raising money, doing some real things, building something special to develop leaders. Because at the end of the day, you can hear stuff and you can bitch about it, but then what are you doing about it? How are we making it better? What are we involved in making it better? What is our role played in making it better? Are we doing anything good with this? Like for you, they're criticizing you with the Netflix special, right? When they're coming out talking about your body shaming or, you know, all this other stuff and the coffee. I don't even know half the stuff I'm reading about. What are they talking about, right? Here's a person that, how many years was your show on? What was the amount of years that the...
Gosh, it was on, I think, for 10 years. I participated, I believe, in 10 seasons.
10 seasons of The Biggest Loser. 10 out of 16 you
there
were
were
involved.
424 contestants. I think there were 7 that participated in this documentary, of which 4 of them I worked with. 2 of those people are doing amazing. One is Danny Cahill, who's not doing amazing. Gosh, I hate to tell you, how about the fact that I didn't even watch the whole thing? I watched like clips of it, so I can't even. Ryan Benson, sorry, who was from season 1. Now, with that said, there's a lot of lying going on. However, if we were to look at what really happened on that show, I have a 35% success rate with the people that I worked with. That's unprecedented. It's 5% of people that lose a large or significant amount of weight keep it off. 95% put it back on. And of course, they left out the vast majority of the people who I just referenced that did amazing, because that kind of news doesn't sell. It's not profitable. People like a scandal. But the people that I forced to take responsibility, those are the ones that kept it off.
But you're an easier target, though. It's easier to blame you. It's your fault, though. It's easier to blame, a different person to be the enemy. You're saying 95% of people gained the weight back and 5% are the ones that kept it off. In
life. On the show, 35% of the people that I worked with kept it off, which is why I'm saying it was actually hugely successful.
You know who is one of the best guys that we spoke to about this was Ethan Suplee. You ever spoken to Ethan Suplee? You know who he is?
No.
Ethan Suplee was the actor. The moment he pulls it up, you know who he is.
Okay.
This is Ethan Suplee. Ethan Suplee was in
Titans?
Remember the Titans? Yeah. He lost, I don't even know how much weight he lost. He says 250 pounds, but he says in his lifetime, he's lost over 1,000 pounds. Because he would lose it, he would gain it. He would lose it, he would gain it. And he broke it down in a very serious, straight up way that, look, this is not easy for me to do, but it's my responsibility and I got to do something about it. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's always easier to target someone who is pushing the message of responsibility, because that's an annoying message. Because responsibility goes to who? It's my fault. Who wants that? Nobody wants that, Tom. Tom wants to be able to say it's my fault. You know, and I want to be able to say it's Tom's fault.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like one
Blame
of those
games.
things. That's
I
right.
always say it's Tom's fault.
No, it's
you
Tom's
can blame
fault,
it all
though.
on me. It's fine. It's always me.
But it's easy. It's easy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's
I
not
wanna-
your
can I-
fault.
can I
It's
add
what
one thing?
they have put around you and what they've done to you.
Who's they?
Don't you feel better now?
That was the
Don't you
biggest
feel
thing, though.
better?
That was the biggest thing with Jubilee, though. It was the fact that it's all victimhood, victimhood. Why do you
All
see
is
yourself
the key,
as a
though,
victim?
boss?
Yeah.
Because there is a kernel of that. So, for example, with Biggest Loser, if I were to give you an example of a contestant that I had worked with, this girl was pulled away from her mother, put into foster care. Her mother would turn tricks for heroin while she was locked in a closet. She was sexually abused. She was a victim. There is no question. And the food was her defense mechanism. It's how she desexualized. It's how she found comfort. It's how she found control. But here's the thing. In order for her to change, you have to say, I get it. All of these horrible things happen to you, and this has to be worked through, and I'm empathetic to that fact. But the defense mechanism that you have chosen is now killing you. And that's the part that you are perpetuating. That's the part that you are responsible for. And therefore, you need to make a different choice. This is where you have to take ownership of how you continue onward and how you respond to the times that you were victimized. Do you perpetuate it? Are you remaining 100% victim all the time? Or do you take back control, take agency, and make a change? Nobody wants to do that anymore.
And it's not universal. I'll say that there are some people that have a hard time breaking out, that just like women that are trapped in abusive relationships and they don't have a friend, they don't have an enabler to kind of help them escape that. And then what do I do now? Okay, I went to the courthouse, I turned them in, I got 2 kids. What's my next step? They need help from churches, from friends, or things like that to enable to get out. You talked about something where you said there was this victory that one of the contestants had, and he looked like he was having a moment, but then you looked at the mom, and the mom. Can you? I don't want to recount that.
So this is a young kid. He was 18 years old, and he showed up with his dad to the show, and they both did fantastic, right? So we're about 8 weeks in, and we're coming into the holidays. They're still on the show. Nobody's been eliminated, and they've lost roughly 100 pounds each. Now, the contestants would go home for the holidays. They wouldn't, as mentioned, they're not eliminated, and they would come back to the ranch. So we would just position it on the show because it might air in April as like, oh, let's see how you do at home. So this kid comes back. Everybody's weighing in, and this one lost 6 pounds, and that one lost 5. And the dad, this gentleman named Ken, loses nothing. I'm like, that's odd. Okay. The kid gets on the scale, and I think he gains like 6 or 7 pounds. And immediately the contestants start co-signing each other's bullshit. Oh my God, it's so hard while you travel, and the food at the airport isn't healthy. Obviously, that's not what's going on. So I sit down with this kid the next day, and I'm like, all right, Austin, just walk me through it from the moment you left here to the moment you got back. And we did the whole no food at the airport. I tried to get my steps in, blah, blah. The kid arrives at home. The door flies open. All the friends and family are there. And there's mom. And mom starts sobbing. And it is not tears of joy because mom is morbidly obese herself. And upon seeing her now much thinner husband and much thinner son, they broke the contract. And she feels abandoned. She feels like they're going to leave her behind. She emotionally withdraws from her son. So what does the food mean to him? It means an emotional connection to his mother. And when he gives it up, what does it represent? A primal abandonment.
Breaking community.
So why do people put the weight back on? Because they're not prepared to give up what the food afforded them. Is Austin a victim of that circumstance? Absolutely. But at some point, you've got to empower him and give him the tools, right, to make these changes if there's any hope for him.
I think you're being so empathetic and fair about it, right? That there is a side of it that maybe if I'm, the mother is doing heroin and selling tricks, and it's like maybe if I get fat, men won't be attracted to me. That they won't. I can see some of those stories, and those are noble stories. Would I put that in the 90% of stories? No. Would I put that into 5% stories? I would. I think a lot of times, Jillian, people want an out because the out gives them freedom. When building a business in the last 25 years, when I ran an insurance company, it was so easy for people to quit, to create a video and trash us because this is hard.
Yeah.
It was easy to use God as an excuse and say, well, I'm just, God is more important to me than you, and I can't give a Bible study and this and this and that. I'm like, okay, that's the lamest excuse. They would hide behind their wife. They would hide behind their husbands. They would hide behind their kids. Anything to not work. Anything to avoid doing the actual work and making it like it was somebody else's fault. That out is liberating. The out is liberating. Why I wasn't able to succeed. But you don't understand. I'm mentally ill because the capitalism system. Who convinced you of that? When you hear stories like that. Adam, last thing, and then we're going to wrap up.
I'll just say one thing. The victimhood mentality is so unattractive. If you were born in America, you've won the golden ticket of life. I'm sorry. How many people are trying to come into America
dying
versus trying to go into all these countries around the world, dying to get here? We talk about all this privilege. It's white privilege, and there's economic privilege, and there's gender privilege, patriarchy, all that. What about country privilege? You are so freaking privileged to live in this country called America with the stars and stripes. And if you wake up every day and all you think about it is America's bad, 200 years ago there were slaves, oh my God, every country did this. Every type of people did this. So you wake up every day and your glass is either half full and you're optimistic, or you're going to play the blame game and your life will dictate exactly how your mentality is. And it's not fair.
There you go. Let me go to the next story. Here. All right, next story I want to get into. This just was dropped right now. So apparently, the leaders, Chinese, Russian, Indian leaders pledge coalition in a message to Trump, okay? This is from Wall Street Journal. They had the meeting. Everybody saw the video. They're walking up together. You can play the clip, Rob. You're seeing the way.
In that war, in the Chinese people's war of resistance against Japanese aggression, as well as the world anti-fascist war. And now the leaders are arriving at that expansive viewing platform up on the Tiananmen rostrum.
Some of the veterans of the War of Resistance were given their own viewing spots on top of the Tiananmen rostrum.
Is that Modi to the right?
Okay. China's top leader.
Okay, so this is this. So, a time for them to be united, message against Trump to say, look, BRICS is strong, look where we are. But there's a hot mic moment. And this is apparently a real hot mic moment. And Rob even fact-checked it to see if it was or not, okay? So the hot mic moment this is from Bloomberg. Xi muses on living to 150 in rare hot mic moment with Putin and Kim. What? This is from Bloomberg. Yeah, so go ahead and play the clip, Rob. Seven years old, you're still a child. And even achieve immortality, organ transplants. Predicts of the century, there's a chance of also living to 150.
Oh my God. Like, that's what you guys are talking about?
By the way, if you go back, just one quick observation. I think when that uphill was too much for Modi. So Modi's going to have a hard time. Modi's missing. It's like, look, man, that is too much for me. I can't do this. He took the escalator on the side. I don't know that. I'm just kind of making that up.
Somebody needs to tell him to hurry up.
So, Jillian, being in there,
I can't even get
too much for me. These guys are talking about.
Where did Modi go?
So what I want to know is, can you imagine if Modi fell behind and then Xi is taking a shot and saying, look at this, I'm 7 years, I feel like a child. That guy fell behind. I'm going to live up to 150. Jillian, how do you feel about the, prospects of a Xi, a Putin, Kim, and Modi living another 80 years?
Oh, God. I don't think that will happen. I am hopeful it does not. But what alarms me so much is the fact that they've formed this alliance, and arguably the past administration pushed it to this point. It's concerning, very concerning.
the more I age, I'm talking to a guy the other day. He says to me, "What age do you want to live to?" And I'm like, that's a question. It's like, okay, where are we going with this? Vinny, what age do you want to live to? Healthy life. What age do you want to live to?
Healthy life? 90, I'll be happy.
Would you want to live 120?
I'm going to be a burden on I'm going to be complaining. My back. No, I can't. I don't want to be that because at that age, I'm not living. Somebody is making sure
miserable because
I'm crapping and eating and throwing. No.
Jillian, what age for you?
I want a health span, not necessarily lifespan, right? So I'd like to get to like 90. I'm with Vinny.
You're also 90? Tom, you want to get to 100. I know you do.
Absolutely. I want to be on the Charlie Munger plan. And when I'm 100 years old, I want to, on my 100th birthday, even though it'll be in July, I want to do a lecture for college students.
Oh, wow.
I'm serious.
Cool.
Because you know me, I love to teach. Yeah. I want to be useful all the way, just like Charlie Munger
lecture at college. Okay, good.
Let's start planning that
Adam,
now.
How about you, Adam?
I think 100 is a very amazing number to get to. I have one grandma who's 99. I have another that's 93. And my mom is 74. And I tell them all the time, don't go anywhere because I'm planning all your 100th birthdays. So the one who's 99, she's not exactly all with it, but she'll be there. It's 6 months away.
Rob, where are you at, Rob? What would you want?
Probably around 80 or 90. I don't want to live to the age where everything hurts. When you're waking up and every single thing you do
or your
hurts.
kids and grandkids are around you and like, oh God, Grandpa just.
I have an arrangement with my son. I'm like, when the day comes that you may have to wipe my ass, just take the pillow and right over mom.
Yeah.
No, we have a. You think I'm kidding?
End it.
By the way, you know what's crazy when she
knows.
says
He's like, pillow? I'm like, pillow.
Yeah. You ever seen the movie Judge? You know the movie Judge?
Of course.
And you know the part where Robert Duvall, the father, is crying and Robert Downey Jr. shows up and he poops all over his...
The
and he like just comes out and the son takes him in the bathtub and is washing him.
Yes.
That scene, look at the face Tom just made.
Yeah.
As nasty as that scene is, as Tom's face is, focus on Tom's face real quick. Tom just visualized what it is to wash your dad's ass.
Tom,
okay?
I'm going to do this for you.
But hear me out. No. But you know what it was, that moment? My dad one time told me, he says, look, there comes a time when you go to the doctor, you're so old, there's no more embarrassment. You go in there, they're seeing everything, they're touching everything, they're looking at everything, you're just kind of, that's... When you're pooping and your son is cleaning your poop.
Pillow. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
that's a pillow.
But John D. Rockefeller, when he was 10 years old, he had two goals in life. Have you heard about this or no? John D. Rockefeller had two goals. He says he wants to be the richest man on earth and he wants to live up to 100. So he became the richest man on earth. He didn't live up to 100. At the time, the life expectancy was 38 years old for a male. You know what age he lived up to? What age did he live up to?
I think he made it almost there, right?
No, he made it to 97 and a half. Can you go to John D. Rockefeller age, Rob, just to see what he lived up to? John D. Rockefeller died at the age of 97 and a half. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
So at a time where the life expectancy is 38, 39, you say 100. That's like somebody writing us and I want to live up to 220. You're out of your mind.
Yeah, you nuts?
He said 100, lived 97 and a half, and he wrote a book. Everybody in the world needs to read this book. 38 letters he wrote to his son. Every father needs to read that book.
Because this is stemming from what he was saying in that meeting with them. Did you see what Trump posted about them all going there with China?
No, what he said.
Rob, can you find that? Trump went on Truth Social and it was something like, hey, I think they're all there and they're all colluding. He goes, all colluding against you. Did you have that one, Rob?
I'll look right now.
Okay.
They're colluding about organ donors.
He wasn't. No. But Trump. I'm hoping it's the right post. If not, I might have been got. But Trump posted something on Truth Social that said he responded to this meeting. Is that it, Rob? Oh yeah. The big question to answer is whether or not President Xi of China will mention the massive amount of support and blood that the United States of America gave to China in order to help it secure its freedom from a very unfriendly foreign invader.
That's Japan in 1940.
Many Americans died in China's quest for victory and glory. I hope that they're rightfully honored and remembered their bravery and sacrifice. May President Xi and the wonderful people of China have a great and lasting day of celebration. Please give my warmest regards to Vladimir Putin, Kim Jung Un, as you conspire against the United States of America. President Donald J. Trump. Them's is fireworks. Like, y'all, I love that. Well, good luck. Hey, congratulations. And I know what you guys are doing.
No idea how much I love that.
Gangster.
You know what I love about it? It leaves no room for interpretation. There's no room for interpretation. What does it mean, Mr. President? What does it mean? They're conspiring against us. Once upon a time, Imperial Japan, under a terrible emperor, was invading them, doing terrible things, and we had blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of blood to go rescue them. I hope they remember that chapter of history. Have a nice day getting together with the bullies. Well, I love that.
What Trump is talking about is gratitude, and China doesn't have any. I mean, without Nixon, without the United States, China would still be a totalitarian dictator. I mean, they still are a dictator type state, but they'd still be stuck in the past. America enabled China. The country that I'm a little worrisome over is not China, is not Russia, is not North Korea. It's India. Yeah. India is like a free agent out there if it's sports right now. And they're being wooed by the Axis powers, the people basically allied against the West and America, and also they're being wooed by the United States. So they're not an ally, they're not an enemy, they're almost like a frenemy. They're a part of BRICS, but we have trade deals with China. We see what's going on with the tariffs right now. It's sort of a problematic. We saw that Apple moved how many of their iPhone capabilities out of China into India. They surpassed China. India is not, because they're a democracy, is not a natural ally to any of those people on that list.
And
Putin,
do you think
Xi,
Trump
any of
knows
these
that?
guys.
Do you think Trump knows that?
Yeah, I think whether Trump knows that or not, I think the people around Trump understand that.
Trump
of course.
knows that. Trump knows
also,
that for a
Modi
fact.
at the same time has one of the highest approval ratings of all world leaders. So he's kind of out there. He's kind of like the cool kid at the lunch table. He'll go have lunch with these guys, and then the next day he'll go have lunch with these guys. And you're like, I thought you were our friend. India is only loyal to India. And that's, India first. That's what Modi's doing. So that's the one thing, especially with BRICS, that I'm keeping an eye on. We know that China and Russia are pretty much aligned.
Bullies are not
with North
normally
Korea.
teams. And you have to remember what India is doing. China wants to be friends with Russia, but they don't want Russia to be too strong. They want to be the alpha.
They are.
Whereas India is buying a whole lot of Russian oil, which is helping Russia with with currency and to help their economy. And China doesn't like that. And India knows China doesn't like that. So as we see them walking all together up the hill here, just remember, there's not a full alliance, except that they all don't like being positioned and pushed right now by the Trump leading the West. They agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're thinking they're there without sending a message to Trump, you're naive. If you don't think this was a message to be, they knew everybody around the world was going to be talking about that. I don't know about that whole thing about 70 to 150 years old. I don't know what that was all about. Whether there's no way you can allow a hot mic like that to happen there. Whoever they find out who released the hot mic and they didn't want to, that person's getting killed.
Yep.
So that hot mic is a hot mic that they probably wanted to be leaked. So that's an intentional hot mic. Why would you release that? Is it to say, hey, you're going to die soon and you're going to be away and you're a president for 3.5 years? It's a joke. We're going to be around for 20 more years. You don't have our power. Is that what they're saying? I'm trying to see what they're trying to say there. It's not like a condescending shot. You think they're going to allow a hot mic leak of something like that to be released if they don't want to in that place? I don't think so.
Do you have...
I don't think so. So I think there is a messaging. Remember, when they say, Putin says, American president, they come and go. They come and go. They come and go. Congress stays. But presidents come and go. He's been there for how long?
Forever.
How long has Xi been there? How long has Xi and, Rob, can you pull it up? How long has Xi and Putin been the leaders of their countries?
Putin since 2000.
That's a great point. This is what Pelosi said about W.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this. Xi has been there since when? Since 2012, so that's 13 years. Putin's been there a couple times. So if you type in exactly, good call. So if you type in Putin, Putin's been there 25 years. Okay, wow. Rob, can you type in Kim Jung Un? And Kim Jung Un right there. Let's see how long he's been there
since his dad died.
So 2011, 13 years and 9 months, and then Modi's been there. Modi hasn't been there that long, but he's still up there for a minute. 7 years, 8 years. What's his number?
He's still walking up that hill, by the way.
Yeah, he's still walking up that. 11 years. So check this out. Modi's 11 years. Putin's 25 years. Xi is 13 years. Kim Jong Un is 13 years, 9 months. They're laughing.
Yeah,
saying you have a democracy.
Yeah.
You're nobody. That's how I take it that way. And I love what Trump said. Good for you. I love what Trump said at them as a message. Like, you guys go kick it together.
Yeah.
and then you're still going to come begging us, and we're going to have to bail you guys out every single time. And you better be ready for that tariff check here soon. Every single month, you got to send them my way.
Gosh, it's amazing how many elections in a row these guys have won. They're like the goats.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Did you see the actual parade?
The Chinese march so well.
Basically, parade of
Show
war.
of force and
Rob,
everything.
do you have any of those images or have any of those pictures?
It's the same thing as Russian May Day.
This is
you know,
what's
when they
going
would
on in
go up and down
China
with all
right
the-
now. This is what I sent you. So this was so the preemptive
She
meeting
has a
that they
stuck
had.
up- she has
But just
that
keep
face of,
going
like,
to. I think there's
stuck up.
images of the. Right there. This is the parade they had. Just keep showing some of these images here.
By the way,
I thought that was San Francisco and
what what China has done to their
Right there.
Navy, the level of advancements China's had in their Navy is ridiculous compared to ours. So let me tell you, yes, mock them, laugh, all that stuff. They're making a lot of progress where they're at because their system allows the guy to.
Look at these guys, but look at the precision.
Yeah.
These guys don't. Look at that. Nobody's messing up. If you mess up, you disappear. Look at this guy. Look how proud they are.
Oh, his foot was
Pretty
angled
sure
wrong.
they know the difference
His foot-
between man and female in China. There's
Oh, you
not-
think that's yeah? You
they
think
don't
that?
have
You
any
think that's on
gender-
there?
There's
You think
no
that's on
gender
their thing?
confusion there. They're there to
This
win.
is a statement.
Live my truth.
This is a statement. Look how strong we are. Do something to us. Mess with us. To me, my biggest thing with the whole COVID thing is these guys are sneaky, and if they want to find a way to do the next thing, they can. And all their people are compliant to what they're saying and what they believe in. This doesn't mean it's the right. I would never live there. But the advantage they have is you better be compliant or else.
Yep.
In America, there is no like those 20 Jubilee people. If they go in China, they try to do something like that. You know what they're going to do to those 20 people? They would
They'll never be
disappear
seen
overnight.
again.
Yeah.
You would never see them.
They'd come in the room while they're shooting and shoot.
They would disappear overnight. Okay, let me get to the next story here. Next story is new poll shows Cuomo beating Mamdani in New York City mayoral race if all other candidates drop out. Jillian, I really want to know what you think about this. Let's go through the numbers. I'm going to read it to you, then I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
So, Mamdani versus Cuomo. While I was at the Jubilee thing, I kept telling everybody, I hope Mamdani wins. So we can see what happens in 4 years. I hope he wins. A Tolkien research poll shows that in a five-candidate New York City mayoral race, Mamdani leads 42%, followed by Cuomo 26%, Curtis 17%, and Eric Adams at 9%, and independent Jim Walden at 3%. But in a hypothetical head-to-head matchup, Rob, if you can pull this up, if Adams, Silva, and Walden dropped out, Cuomo would defeat Mamdani 52 to 41%. That's not a close race. Cuomo reacted positively, stating that poll is right. When asked about the results on Wednesday, but avoided directly calling for other candidates to withdraw, Mamdani's campaign dismissed the poll, with a spokesperson stating everybody knows that Andrew Cuomo is Donald Trump's choice. Candidate for mayor, they share the same billionaire donor colluded on the race, and Trump himself said the two have always gotten along. The spokesperson accused Cuomo of aligning with Trump's authoritarianism and favoring billionaire over New Yorkers. The poll suggests it could unify anti-Mamdani groups, but only Walden has indicated willingness to exit the race to support a stronger candidate against Mamdani. Jillian, thoughts?
I don't know, boss. This is a bit of a pipe dream. It's just too much of a hypothetical for me. My bigger concern is watching people like yourself say, I hope he wins, so they get what they want. And you've seen Winklevoss come out and say that, and then you've seen the guys like Bill Ackman say, no, we cannot allow that. Yeah. As a regular person, I honestly don't know what is the right answer here. You kind of want these kids to get what they're voting for, but at the same time, what about all the innocents? What about the people of color? What about the working class that don't want this guy? And when these rich white liberals escape, by the way, here to Florida, which is where they're going to come, they're going to run from these policies that they voted for and make no connection with regard to their responsibility for what's happened there. They're going to leave this mess with all the innocent people who voted against it. That's the part that kind of worries me. Like, you want them to learn from their mistakes, but all these innocent people are going to suffer, and they're not going to learn. They're going to come here and they're going to try to make it happen in places like Nashville, places like Austin, places like Miami.
Yeah, I mean, that's a valid way of being reasonable and trying to hear both sides out of what could happen. The reality of it is, if you don't want him to win, go campaign, go knock on doors, go do what Charlie Kirk got a lot of people to go to Pennsylvania and go work, go get people to show up to Arizona, Pennsylvania, which means go knock on doors all over New York City, one by one by one. If you really don't, because guess what Mamdani is doing? That's what Mamdani is doing. So for me, it's a form of saying, hey, New York, this is real. It's coming to you.
Yeah.
And this is not a joke. This is really, really coming to your city, to New York City. 123 billionaires, financial capital of the world. You guys better get your act together because this guy's capable of winning. And when he does, it's going to change. I'm not going to take this thunder away because I'm sure you texted it to Rob, but I'm going to go to a couple other people. Matter of fact, I'll come to you next. What do you think about this, Adam?
Well, this time to play, let's make a deal. And if Cuomo or Eric Adams ever see this, you two figure it out. You know, they say the ego is not the amigo. One of you guys gots to go because we're how many months away from this election? September, October, November? We're a little over 2 months away from this election. And if you actually care about New York and not yourself, you guys figure out a deal where Eric Adams either drops out and Cuomo assumes the position or one way or the other. But Eric Adams, who is currently the incumbent and basically said, I'm out of the Democratic Party, I'm an independent now. Dude, your numbers are tanking. You were at 8% 2 weeks ago. Now you're at 2%. Cuomo, who was at 8%, now he's almost doubled up. But meanwhile, you have Zohran Mamdani, who's going nowhere. So his whole campaign messaging, aside from all the communism and the Islamism and the socialism and the free, a lot of isms, is the affordability crisis in New York City. And who has ever lived in New York City or spent time in New York City understands that he's not wrong. He's actually right. His approach, however, is wrong. So the thought of the jewel of the capitalism of the world, New York City, being run by a self-proclaimed democratic socialist communist is laughable to me, but we're about 2 months away from seeing that happen.
Tom.
Well, Curtis Soa, if you know his history with the Guardian Angels, is not going anywhere. He is a guy who's running on cause and heart and passion. I don't see him dropping out because he wants to make the point. He's like the Green Party candidates around the time of Ralph Nader, who simply won't let go. And by the way, in a democratic environment, why should he? Now, the others would be deal-making among the people who are the Democrats. Eric Adams, what deal do you make with him to get him to leave? Jim Walden, a little bit easier to make a deal. But now you do that and you end up with almost perfect numbers, Pat, that remind me of Bush, Clinton, and Ross Perot. 17 for Soa, 35, 36 for Cuomo, and 41 for Mamdani. And you go take a look at that. That looks just like the election between Clinton, Bush Sr., and...
So what are you saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying that I think it's going to be a hard time getting these people out, and I think that's what you're looking at right now, barring something
I think
happening.
all those people, respectfully, Tom, are irrelevant. They're one percenters. Cuomo and Eric Adams, get your ass together, come in a room, figure out who's mayor, who's vice mayor. You guys figure it out. Or you'll both be sitting around saying Pledge of Allegiance to Mayor Mamdani.
But what happened?
But look at the numbers. They're almost identical.
Well, look at New York. Like, bro, what happened? Like, I think we talked about this before. Look at the pool of people to choose from. Mamdani, Cuomo, because we know what he did with all the hospitals and COVID and just, not a good track record. And then Eric Adams. Eric Adams, you're the incumbent. You're at 9%.
2%.
Is he at 2%?
According to this
my
number.
bad. Oh, my bad. 2%.
No.
According to Polymarket,
wait a minute.
odds.
Wait a minute. 9% according to the poll, 2% to Polymarket Vegas odds.
Thank you.
He's at 9%.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Thank you. So 9%. And you know what it is? Eric Adams shouldn't have bent the knee because for those 4 years under Biden, any woke agenda BS, sanctuary city, okay, signed up everything. And then all of a sudden, Tom, when things started to shift, he started sounding more pro-Trump. And it was too late. Day late, dollar short. Okay, and now New Yorkers, like you said, Jillian, where my family's from, the majority of my family from Yonkers, New York, now they're all like, what the hell? What's going on? Because look at the people that they get to choose from, and it's all the leadership. And now it's all coming to it. And I get what you're saying. I having the attitude, which we've had, and I admit I had the same, let them learn. They need to learn their lesson because at this point, it's inevitable. It's inevitable, Jill. going to happen, and at this point, they're going to learn their lesson. And Pat, my question to you, he's talking about affordable housing and all that housing and all this. How is he planning on doing that? Where's that money going to come? Where's that going to come from?
Vinny, you're looking for numbers and you're looking for data and you're looking for actual accountability.
I thought they screamed.
It's all about a vibe, bro.
You know what I mean? Like
smile and vibe.
Is there a plan set out, Pat, of how he's going to make
You're
this
bringing
housing?
logic to an emotional gunfight, dude.
For what?
For Mamdani's thing is he's going to make affordable housing for New Yorkers.
First of all, he has more power to do that today than he does as a mayor when he wins. This is the part that Andrew Cuomo's like, yeah, you can, not Andrew Cuomo, Mayor Adams, like,
yes,
you can do that right now. How come you're not doing anything about it? So what's going to happen when you're mayor? So, but he has momentum. And trust me, where they are right now, they want tomorrow to be November 4th. Mamdani's camp.
Yes.
Because between now and November, there's still 2 months and things could change. You know what could happen to him? You know what could happen to him?
What?
What could happen to him is what happened to our friend from Canada.
Weird.
Okay, what happened to that guy? What was his name?
Pierre Poilievre.
He was like, oh, he's going to win. He thought he was going to be the prime minister of the world. And then boom, he loses. That somebody else has to give him their seat. Felt sorry for him. Here's my seat. Let me give him to you. So that's the likely. But someone needs to come in like a Bill Ackman you were talking about earlier that met with Cuomo and met with Adams and said, I just think we need to get behind Cuomo.
Yes.
Is what Ackman said.
Yes.
Somebody needs to be a unifier, bring them together. I think there's one guy that could pull it off. And I think when it's 2 weeks out of the mayoral race, I think this guy who lives off of, what is that street called? Pennsylvania
Avenue?
Pennsylvania Avenue. It's in D.C. What is it? It's like a,
a
nice White House. They're building like a $200 million
Donald Trump.
Oh,
Donald Trump.
He could help.
That's right.
You think he can help?
Yeah, I think
How do you see Trump helping?
I think Trump can help. I think Trump can pull every one of them to the White House, have a meeting with them. He can tell Sliwa to step out. He can tell Adams to get behind him, and then he can offer him some things.
I agree.
So.
You're saying internal, like almost kingmaker type thing.
He can pull it off. He can pull that off and broker a deal, and New York City can thank him for it. Remember, President Trump made his billions in what city?
New York City.
Yeah, listen, he has affinity there. He has affinity there for that city. And what
sounds like
doing.
you wanted to do art of the mayoral deal.
And if there's a guy that could pull it off, buddy, it is him. Now, let's talk about a CEO who took a freaking hat from a kid.
The art of the steal.
Fathers, pay attention. Is this a good dad or no? So what I want you to read, this man is the CEO. As a CEO, his name is Piotr Jerek.
Good job.
Who snatched hat from boy at U.S. Open, apologizes, but I don't know if I read that as an apology. So this kid here getting balls, all this other things that's getting signed, and then watch what this guy does. Go ahead, Rob.
Wait, give me that. What are you doing?
Hey, finders keepers, little kid.
He puts it in the bag. He just puts and gives the kid a Sharpie back. I need to give the Sharpie back. Look. He's like, forget about it. No sympathy. Thinks that even is something. And then he tweets about it. And this is what he says. He posted it on Truth Social. No, I don't think it's on Truth. I think he posted it on X. But he posted somewhere. Rob, can you put his response? Because it's a very interesting response where he puts, and look, whether it's true. Look, right there, Rob. Right there. The black one. No, not that one. It's the other one, Rob. The black one on the bottom, right there. Zoom in a little bit. The recent incident at a tennis match has caused a disproportionate online uproar. It's all about the famous hat, of course. Yes, I took it. Yes, I did it quickly. But as I've always said, life is first come, first serve, he claimed. I understand that some people might not like it, but please, let's not make a global scandal out of the hat. It's just a hat. If you were faster, you would have it. Regarding online hate, I remind you that insulting a public figure is subject to legal liability. All offensive comments, slander, and insinuations will be analyzed for the what? I can't read the bottom of it, Rob. For the possibility of taking the matters to court. Oh. Now, Rob, is there another response after that or no? Tom, as a father, what do you think about that? Is this a good father or no? Let's run a poll on it, Rob. Go ahead, Tom.
This is a socialist leader, so what is yours becomes mine whenever I want it. Ladies and gentlemen, a socialist leader from Europe. I rest my case.
Okay. I actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I like it because that.
Like if that was your father, would you be like, my dad got the hat for me?
Yeah. Like, well, first of all, where is that kid's father? And by the way, the fact that he's tweeting this as if that kid is reading it. He's like, next time, be faster. I mean, this is a survival of the fittest. You got to be fast. Wow. I mean, I think that the country needs, like, the world needs more bullies to push people. Bet you that kid's attitude now, because he's going to watch this over and over as he gets older. You know his attitude's going to be, yeah, I need to, that kid's going to learn something very valuable. You got to be quick. And you want it, you grab it. It's right in front of your face. Don't let this guy forget.
He did apologize afterwards. He says, I take full responsibility for my extremely poor judgment and hurtful action. It was never my intent to steal away a prized memento from the young fan. Regardless of what I believe was happening, the actions I took hurt the young boy and disappointed the fan. Jillian, your thoughts on this?
The guy's a douche.
That's it.
That's it, boss. He's a douche. The other one's mentally ill. This one's a douche.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's another.
I mean, how would you like it if a bully named Putin came in and stole your country, put it in a bag and left? I'll show you, you son of a bitch.
Adam?
Remember there was a show back in the day called You're on Candid Camera, and it's like you were caught in the act doing something or other. We have to realize that we are now living in the age of Candid Camera. Everything you do could potentially be seen. What was the whole couple with Coldplay?
Yep.
They're just out there in no man's land. Yeah. Just all of a sudden, this guy gets fired, the company's done. You see incidents of people like way up in the bleachers and stands, like hooking up, whatever. Everything is being filmed these days. Guys, we're on camera right now, okay? Yeah. You pick your nose, Vinny, they're going to find you, buddy. So this scumbag out here from Poland who's out there snatching kids' hats, got your hat.
Rob, did he actually say the first part? Like, did he actually say the first part?
Yes, I took it.
I can't confirm or deny. I'm looking.
Said, first come, first serve.
I mean, it's everywhere. If he said it,
Finders
it's
well,
by the way, copy paste that entire quote, put it in ChatGPT and verify and say, did the guy say that or not? Let's see what he says. I just want to make sure we say that. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. For entertainment purposes, I hope he did say it because it's hilarious. Because you really learn what he's all about. The ice cold message coming from a guy like that.
Let's see what it says.
Drum roll.
CNN's on there.
Here's what
the quote. Yes.
Includes lines like, yes, I took it by that. It was widely circulated online. It's attributed to him. Okay, good.
Allegedly.
Source of the Economic Times and Times End reported his version of statement appearing. Okay, good. But they caution its authenticity isn't verified. Okay, so we don't know.
Neither denied having ever make those
statements on public apology. Neither my wife nor my son's comment on the situation on social media website. All legit. Okay, well, I can tell you this. Whoever wrote that went viral, you're funny.
You're funny.
Oh, so he might not have written that.
And look, if you don't want the fake to be out there,
Pat,
don't put yourself in a position.
Pat, put yourself.
Imagine
they stole it from Tico.
Let me tell you, my dad messed me up the day I saw David Hasselhoff in Sherman Oaks at a movie theater. McDonald's were upstairs, and I see, oh my God, David Hasselhoff from Baywatch. I'm going to go take a picture with him.
And guess what Gabriel
he says, no, he needs to come and take a picture of you.
I love that.
And I said, what? He says, what's the big deal about him? He said, he needs to come and ask you for a picture. I said, I'm a nobody. And he says, no, one day he will come take a picture.
How old were you at the time?
I was 13, 14 years old.
You were 14.
He totally messed me up. From that day, it's like, you know what? It is what it is.
So, Pat, just to clarify, so that was not, allegedly that was not him. His wife and them are denying it, but somebody might have posted.
Well, listen, I will tell you, if somebody writes something like that I said, and it's that funny,
I'll keep it.
I would keep it 50-50. Is what I would say. Okay. I would.
Pat, there's a Twitter account, not PBD, that I constantly think you're saying that it's you.
It's so funny.
But he's
that's actually not me, but
everybody.
whoever's running it is. He says what I like. I think the guy that runs it is what he would want me to say.
Pat, it's Tom. It's Tom's running.
And it's crushing. It's somebody on the inside that's running.
Tom's running.
You should have said what he said about me.
So let me go.
Sir, did you see that?
What?
This is the best one. Sir, PBD really destroyed these 20 retards. Showed it to the president.
Look at all the guys on the right. Look at
Jamie. We don't call him retarded anymore.
What else does he put up? Robin Wright says, leaving the U.S. for U.K. is liberating. America's a shit show. Okay, boarding the sinking ship. What else he's got here?
Climate gossip. We'll hustle Palestine and Gaza.
Yeah, this guy crushes it.
We're hustling.
Vinny, Rob, who's that guy? Go up.
That wasn't a guy.
Who's that guy?
That's
That looks
Climate
like from
activist.
Dumb and Dumber. The guy from
Lloyd.
Dumb and Dumber.
Not Lloyd. The other one. No, not Lloyd.
Harry.
Harry.
Yeah, that's
Your
Greta
hands
Thunberg.
are
Who is that?
freezing.
Who is this
Greta
guy?
That used to be
Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg, but it
What'd they
just
do
shows
to
you
her?
Well,
when
listen.
you go progressive woke left, you turn into a dude. Look at that. She used to be a little girl. Look at her now.
Bangs her. She bangs. Anyway,
relax.
Wow. Okay, let's go to
Anyway,
this
she's
next
on her
story.
way to Palestine now.
I'm going to go to this next story here. So, Americans lose faith. Jillian, this is very important. You got to address it.
Okay, boss.
Americans lose faith that hard work leads to economic gains. It's not true. It doesn't work anymore.
Oh,
It used to, but not anymore today. So let me read this to you and see if you agree with this writer or no. Okay, because this is from Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
A Wall Street Journal NORC poll reveals a sharp decline in belief in American dream, with only 25% of Americans saying they have a good chance of improving their standard of living, a record low survey since 87, down from 36% in a 2023 poll survey that found American dream is still held true. More than 3/4 of respondents, specifically 78%, express a lack of confidence that life for the next generation will be better than their own, reflecting deep economic pessimism. The poll, conducted from August 8th to the 19th with 1,405 adults and a margin of error of a plus minus 3.2%, underscores a disconnect between traditional economic indicators showing resilience and a public's sour outlook exemplified by unemployed job seekers like Jerry Esk, 56 years old, and Austin Odell, 35, in Norton, Colorado. The survey highlights growing economic concerns, 65% rating. The economy as not so good or poor, though this is an improvement from 80% in March of 2023. What are your thoughts about it? Does working hard still increase my chances of living the American dream?
I think it's what you said on Jubilee to that one kid, that sure, there might be a time in your life where you need to work 3 jobs, 5 jobs, but if you're doing that a decade from now, you're doing something wrong. Is the system a bit more difficult for kids today than it was for me? I think it is. Than it was for my parents, unquestionably. But I also believe there's far more opportunity if you're entrepreneurial. You've got to work hard, but you also have to work smart. And that whole kind of grind away at the dead-end gig, you got to take risks more. You've got to be, as mentioned, more entrepreneurial. And then I think there is an absolute path forward for huge success. But
Jillian, you
outside the box a bit.
You're kind of rich, Jillian. I don't know if you know that or
Yeah,
not.
girl.
You're kind of rich.
I do.
Yeah, girl.
Okay.
You've made some money. You made real money. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but at one point, that wasn't the case, right?
Of course not.
So
I parked cars, delivered food.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
What are some things, like when I see Giancarlo, whom we both love? I mean,
Right.
he's, and you're around him, you feel the energy, and we talk about the stories with you, right? Be honest, like at some point, how hard did you work for a period, and how focused were you that nobody saw?
I mean, I continue to work that hard, but at the same time, I've watched entire industries we built our business on collapse. So there's no more DVD deals. There's no more book deals. I used to sell content. Content is simply a loss leader. So there was a time where I was like, oh, we did this DVD deal for $9 million for 6 DVDs. Those days are gone.
How many DVDs have you sold in your lifetime?
Gosh, G would probably know. I can
He'll
tell
text
you
me right now.
one I did 30 Day Shred,
Giancarlo?
sold millions of copies. But with that said, we had to reinvent. So now content is a loss leader, and we strategically invest in other companies that sell hard goods. So whether it's a supplement company I believe in, or it's a Thrive Market, or it's Crave Jerky, or it's a spin gym.
Shit, he just said over 100 million DVDs.
Now, but here's the thing. I didn't know that Lionsgate did. I was work for hire.
Over 100 million DVDs.
So again, you work really hard, right?
God, look at that. Over 100 million DVD copies sold.
Holla.
Are you freaking kidding me? You know what that is? Let me put it. Guys that sell 100 million records. What do you call those guys? How many people?
Platinum.
How many?
freaking
No.
It's a different level.
No. How many total records has Gene Simmons sold? How many total records has Gene Simmons sold? Okay. What was their band's name? Kiss. How many total records did Kiss sell? Okay. Guys, I don't think you guys realize what 100 million is. How many total records does Kiss? Let's see this here. Okay, they've sold global 100 million
And this is
records.
Kiss. This is Kiss.
Guys, Jillian Michaels has sold the same amount of DVDs as Gene Simmons and Kiss sold. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, this is not a small number.
No.
So that doesn't just happen overnight.
So, okay, no. It takes a huge amount of hard work. But then when all of these industries collapse, you can sit there and say, I'm a victim, it's not fair. Now AI is going to be your trainer. You have to be entrepreneurial. You've got to pivot. You've got to look at new ways to make money. So it isn't just about the grind. It's about working hard, but also working smart.
That's fair. But in other words, she is rich and successful. and
now
loved.
Mama has to
And
borrow
loved.
money.
No
Yeah.
PBD, let's put it that way.
And love.
Still flying commercial, boss.
100 million. 100 million freaking DVDs sold. Damn. That's insane. Am I the only one that's surprised by that number?
I
thought it was 6 million,
Is this the
5
first
million.
time you guys heard of Jillian Michaels? I've known this for years,
No,
bro.
but 100 million?
Day she walked in the door, I was
And
like,
you know I love that.
million
You know I
is-
love that you did that because I was going to ask her to borrow money a certain amount. Now I'm going to
Up a little bit.
Oh,
No.
I like to borrow a house.
Casa D'Angelo next time, she's paying.
What are we even talking about? Giancarlo,
so
get ready.
funny.
We're going to eat.
That's so funny.
This story, Pat. What was it importance to you? Why you wanted to bring this up? Because
Which story is
obviously,
this? Tell me which one.
We were talking about hard work. Americans losing faith in hard work.
Yeah, because to me, I'm glad you're asking that question. Thank you for redirecting
Yeah, I have
it to
a
me.
point.
Go ahead, say something.
No.
if you-
But you go first. I will.
Yeah, no, I just brought it up because Tom put it up as a story he wanted to react to.
Well, of course. Well, I wrote a few things down. So life. Tom,
Did you react to it yet or not? Not yet.
No, not yet.
Let me go to you first, and I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adam. Go ahead, Tom.
Age before beauty. Go ahead.
No, I echo what Julian said, and I add something to it, right? It's like every generation has to look where they live. Why do we call it the greatest generation after World War II? Because they came out of World War II, and they had babies, and they put their head down, and they said, look, this is what we're going to do as a country. So you don't get to choose the date you're born. You get to choose what you do with that era. And that's where it is. And do all of us have parents that encourage us? No. Do all of us have born in the same country and go over that? No. But you have a choice to do it. And now more than ever before, when I was 10 years old, there was no internet. When I was 10, you didn't have a lot of perspective. There wasn't even MTV yet. And so there was no MTV cribs and going, oh my gosh, look at these houses. Literally, your world was what you could see. But once you discovered it, it's there. And now the internet gives this generation the ability to see all the ways to do it, all the things that are out there, all the places to go, and bad stuff, and bad OnlyFans, and a world dominated by likes that affects you psychologically. There's the dark side of everything. But if you lose faith that hard work leads to gain, then you're probably still thinking work for. And there's a simple word: hustle and the American spirit. The American spirit used to be something that everybody around the world, where did that song come from? World War II, the Yanks are coming, because we were known as dedicated people with a good heart that wanted to right wrongs. And that came back home with just the kind of the way we lived and we drove. And so, you can't choose your date, but you can choose your attitude. And that was the point that I wanted to make, because that's my response to this. And now you got the entire internet to show you bad things, but also a bunch of ways that you can get yourself out of it. I couldn't watch Valuetainment back in those days. I would never have discovered that a vault conference exists, because all I had magazines. I had to wait for them to deliver to the mailbox. And I had the little world I could see. But now it's so available and so out there that it's a simple choice. Be a victim and go on Jubilee, or point your ass north and go do something.
Adam.
Yeah, we've all heard good things take time. I'm sorry. We've all heard that good things take time, but it's more true than ever. Like, the paradox of life these days is that all the little stuff can come so much easier and quicker than we've ever had it in our life. Whether it's DoorDash, whether it's Uber Eats, whether it's, Tinder to a girl to show up at your door. Everything is so much easier than ever. Go ahead, bring me the coffee. I got you, baby.
Wait, hold on. Is there whipped cream on that?
Yeah, I'll take a sip. Yeah. But
I definitely want some of that too.
The biggest challenge is all the hardest things in life are actually taking 5 to 10 years longer than ever. So, Rob, you have that meme right there. You've seen this before. My parents in their 20s, you know, they're having babies, they're getting married, they're buying houses. Now you're basically figuring out what video games to have. Life expectancy has increased, and all the big stuff that you'd achieve in life has all moved 5, 10 years down the road. People used to get married in their early 20s. Now it's their early 30s. The average age of buying a house a generation ago was 25. The average age of buying a house now, first-time buyers, 38 years old. So everything is taking a little bit longer. We
Don't forget buying a car.
That's true. If you're even buying a car these days, people talk about your retirement age, about 62, 65, 70. Pat wants to push it back to 80, which I kind of agree with. Everything that is meaningful in life is taking much longer these days, and everything that is trivial and easy, you can get with the snap of a finger. You just have to recognize that. So if you're looking for your reward mechanism, if you're a guy out there and you're 22, bro, you might not have success until you're 30. Play the long game.
Yeah, I want to show, and that's a good point. By the way, to me, when I think about a story like this, here's how I'm wired, okay? And this may or may not make sense to anybody. I can't stand feeling or sounding helpless. I don't want to feel like I don't have influence to change my life. I don't want to give any authority, anyone power over me, whether that's the government, religion, whatever. I'm not giving that to nobody, okay? No one's getting that kind of influence over me. You shouldn't give that kind of power. Bro, relax. You shouldn't give that kind of power to anybody. This guy's like, freaking here, take this. Drink
I just didn't think you were. I didn't think you were a whipped cream guy.
Why?
I didn't either.
I'm hearing it.
I was very
I always tell people how masculine you are.
This guy's back at it again. Like, we need to find him.
Tell
The other
people
day,
how
I'm
masculine
making
you are.
a
Look at
point.
you.
I'm making a point the other day, and I'm in the middle of this.
I was playing with my nuts. I had nuts.
It was a bag of salty nuts, to be exact.
Yeah, that's what it was.
No clue.
Oh, and now they're honey glazed.
Honey glazed nuts.
By the way,
nuts to go with your whipped cream.
by the way, check this out. People ask me, how could you be that patient with those kids? Because I sit next to one all day. How could you be that patient around this Jubilee? Sit next to this guy and see what happens.
I just didn't think you were a whipped cream guy, pal.
Came from there to this. No, but never ever let another person make you feel this. I want to show a clip. I want to get your thoughts on this. You know, the guy that I had on the podcast, Jillian's still laughing. The guy that I had on the podcast who was Dean, he came here. I was on his podcast. We spoke. And then I took him to the house, and we had lunch together, and he gave me the Quran, okay? He gifted me the Quran. And on the podcast, I gave him credit for having audacity to hand me the Quran, to spread the religion that he believes in as much as he does.
Yes.
Christians need to do that more. And I said, I've never had a Jew in their lifetime ever tell me you should try being a Jew, right? It's never happened to me. I've gotten messages from other people, got a message from AIPAC, I've got a message from other people, but I've never gotten a message from somebody saying you ought to consider being.
Here's the Torah.
No, never. Yeah. So I give the guy a compliment. Dean, this is directed to you. I know you're going to see this. This is the kind of stuff that I don't like that you guys do. Show the clip, Rob. Go to the top. Not this one. Show the clip that he posted.
This is the one he posted.
Okay, so watch this. Watch this, what he does. Go ahead. The fact that you have the audacity to come to my house after I feed you to tell me about your religion. That's never happened to me with Jews.
Some Muslim had the audacity to give Patrick bin David a Quran, even after Patrick himself gave Andrew Tate a Bible.
I got a gift for you as well.
Amazing.
Let's start off with the first one. The first one is a Bible.
You handed Andrew Tate a Bible right after he reverted to Islam. Now, in your description of what happened, you never said that your Muslim friend was rude in any way,
never.
that he was pushy,
wait a minute.
that he was
Pause
aggressive.
Pause it. Go back to the clip up there and see what I said. Play the clip. Go back there.
Yeah, fact checking.
To this one?
Play the clip. He takes out a backpack full of Qurans and books, and he gives it to me. He says, I want to talk to you about a religion of Islam.
Religion of peace.
In my house.
Try to pitch you Islam in your house.
By the way, I respect it. I don't say it in a negative way. I respect the fact that you have the audacity to come to my house after I feed you to tell me about your religion. That's never happened to me with Jews. So what is Jews' vision and outcome? What are they trying to do? Pause it right here. Yeah. By the way, that clip, when somebody sees, that's the kind of clip to rile, what do you call it? The other side up. And by the way, to give him the credit, he was so nice and respectful when he came over. That's why I gave him the credit. That he believed that I'm even capable of being converted to the religion of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you know what it's like? In insurance, I had guys who would say, well, my uncle will never buy anything. Yeah, this guy will never buy anything. That person will never buy. I said, never, ever. Put everybody on your chicken list. Your chicken list is people that you don't think will ever do an interview with you.
Mm-hmm.
Your chicken list is people that will never do a meeting with you to sell them a product. Your chicken list is a person that you think you can never raise money with. Go talk to your chicken list. Those are the people. This guy, from the moment we spoke, was good, respectful. Everything came, sat down, presented the Quran. Sitting there listening to him. I don't interrupt that. I take. By the way, everything he gave me is still in my office.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't throw it away. Didn't give it to anybody else. It's still so because it's a gift that he gave to me. Sometimes you see stuff like this, and even if you go in the comment section of his, the guy says, well, listen, he said he was very respectful towards you. I don't see anything here that the guy said anything bad about you. There's a couple comments here. To me, you can see stuff like this, and it irritates folks. It angers people. Then you get people to get pissed off, and they come and do something stupid. I just saw that clip. Somebody sent it to me just the last couple of days ago. I'm like, wait a minute. We were speaking complimentary about you. Don't turn it around and show it from the other side. When we show clips of what other people have said, that they're out there with Sharia law, some of the other things that people claim. I saw a video the other day of a 45-year-old man. We have to find this clip. A 45-year-old man with a 12-year-old girl that just gave birth to a baby, 12 or 13-year-old girl that gave birth to a baby with the baby on top of her. I mean, this is some disturbing stuff that you see. Okay, and you see this clip. I don't want to change the meeting here, where we're going. All I'm saying is I saw this message of what happened. Somebody sent it to me. By the way, I got a question for you. You know, when it comes down to relationships, do you, I'm trying to see what her name is. I think you had her on the podcast one time. Who's the one girl that you had on the podcast? Let me look into it. Maybe we'll do it on Friday's podcast for me. Is this, have you had her on?
Yeah, Sadia, yeah.
What do you know about her?
I know a lot about her.
How is she?
Prior to all the news that's coming out these days, pretty classy, respectful woman. But it turns out that seems like she's a wolf in sheep's clothing, because it turns out she's been allegedly charging people $6,000 men's coaching courses to help people. And then it turns out she's actually allegedly some sort of side chick that's cheating on husbands' wives and like calling them out in the process. Why do you bring her up? I've had her on the podcast. It was a great time, but I think she's kind of fallen off recently.
Yeah, somebody sent me a message about her, because I don't have any problem with her charging $6,000. I mean, go charge. If people want to pay for it to get better, go for it.
Well,
but are you following the story?
Yeah, I am. Well, the problem they have is the hypocrisy, is that she's basically saying what a high-level woman is, or a high-class woman is, or anything like that, but yet she's allegedly cheating and with a married man. So it's a little controversial. I think that's basically what it is. No?
Is that the recording that, Rob, you have up right there?
Yeah, this is the article from the
So what is this? So this girl who we've all seen, she's gone viral. She actually has some very unique takes.
She's very classy and very beautiful, but allegedly she's a liar.
Is that audio recording her audio? She's talking to a married man?
Yeah,
is that
she's talking to the woman, basically saying, I'll sleep with your husband. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't care what you have to say. All allegedly what she talked about being a high-value woman. And the wife of the woman was recording her. And she's like, oh, really? That's what you're going to do? That's what you're going to say? And she's
okay,
portraying
earmuffs.
herself.
Can we play it? I don't know what it is. Rob, just play the clip, see what she says.
Is that that was in your, yes.
Is that the one?
Yep.
Okay, play it.
About it. I'll suck your dick if you have an attitude, and I can do it today if I want to.
Go on.
And I can do it on your wedding day.
She's saying this to her.
To the wife.
Well, we'll see.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's recording.
Yes.
Wow. He'll call me after.
I know for a fact you guys weren't expecting this one, but the female dating coaches in 2025 are not looking good. And you know what's crazy? I actually like a lot of Sadia's.
Is she married with kids?
I don't think so. I don't know. She said that she was, but if she was, she's out here on a recorded line basically saying, I'll sleep with your husband. There's nothing you can do about it. And when your husband's with you, he's thinking about me. That doesn't, to me, seem like the high-value woman that she appears to be. I've had nothing but good times with her, but this is the latest story.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen her clips where she breaks it down.
Yeah.
I thought she was married with kids.
I don't think that's the case.
Has she ever been? Does she have
I don't
kids
know.
or-
I haven't followed her in a little while, but
marital status. So she was married in 2023. So she is married. So maybe that sound is not her.
It sounds like her voice. Let's wait to see this comes out. Again,
So let's
this is
see
all
the recording.
allegedly.
Can you ask us? According to Viacom, this audio was revealed that radio she got married in 2023, is now settled in Dubai. No further detail about her husband provides. Beyond that, they appear to be no credible public.
Yeah,
Okay.
but if she's in Dubai, she might be one of 4 wives. You never know. By the way, back to that initial thing. The biggest problem that I have with, what was the guy's name?
Dean. Yeah.
Listen, respect to you. You know, if you want to push your agenda, that's great. But it's absolute BS how he cut the clip of you. Because you said specifically, because I was there in the meeting, in interview with Andrew Tate, the first gift I have for you is the Bible. And then he conveniently cut it off. What was the second gift you gave to him? It was a Quran that I think your guy Haz.
Haz's mother gave to him, and we gave it to.
And it was
Tate.
like a historic Quran.
He took it, and
so don't
he received
BS
both.
the whole situation and pretend you're trying to convert Andrew Tate, who had just converted to Islam, back to Christianity with the Bible. You gave him a Quran, and then I happened to give him some cookies
And
as well.
not only any Quran, it's a Quran from a family that meant a lot to them, that they gifted me to give to him.
So-
The book looked beautiful.
Because that means a lot to him. I
Dean
want to give him a
did-
gift that he values.
Forget about the fact that he basically tried to throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
You threw a Muslim family who gave their cherished Quran to Andrew Tate out of a sign of respect. You threw them under the bus. You basically downplayed the fact that they gave their Quran from their family to Tate. You conveniently left that out, guy. That's why people don't have respect for that kind of stuff.
Anyways, okay, so
But
there
why do you
have
bring
it.
this girl up?
What? Because there was a connection between the two of those guys.
So the
Is
hypocrisy.
she also Muslim or no?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
so
that's
then there
not
was
a good. That's not a good look if she's a
the
Muslim
common
girl.
theme here is hypocrisy.
I thought for the longest time she was married with kids, giving those messages, which is because her videos would go viral quite often. She was all over the place. Yeah.
Don't trust
And I
the
know you had to
internet.
run. Let me tell you guys what happened. We had Ray Lewis on. Ray Lewis we talked for a couple hours. Ray Lewis a freaking G, okay? And if anybody wants to talk to Ray Lewis, he's on Connect, actually actively getting back to people. And we did the interview, and it was originally, the short clip was supposed to go on VT. It was dropped on VTSC, picked up by everybody, reacted to by a bunch of different people. Shannon Sharp's reacted to the clip. Everyone's asking when is the full interview coming out. Here's the intro. The interview will be dropping, I believe, tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow
Rob,
at
if I'm
9.
not mistaken. Go for it. Tom Brady said the only player he ever feared was Ray Lewis.
Men made up their mind that another side that had different colors on was not going to beat us one-on-one.
This guy's a badass.
It's impossible, period. It's not hard.
But Shannon Sharp, did you think he was one day going to be a good TV guy personality?
I'm shocked at his content. I would, in a million years, the things that Shannon has said now or did now, I would never believe that Shannon would say or do anything. The devil has the ability to make you popular.
This was personal.
One thing in my whole career that was just crazy is we couldn't find one solid quarterback. I was 30 seconds from Peyton Manning saying yes to come to Baltimore. There's no way in hell Peyton's coming into Baltimore and getting an eye in zone in Baltimore. We had an entire life-size picture of Barry Sanders when you walk in the meeting. Period. It's not hard. We had an unwritten rule. Never leave your brother.
Ooh.
Never leave your brother.
I'm watching it, and I was here, and I was back there watching it already.
All right, so Ray Lewis, tomorrow, 9 a.m., coming to a city, a device near you, the same one you're watching on today. And remember, you can connect Ray Lewis, and he will get back to you.
Ooh.
He will connect you. Go to Connect, download the app, type in Ray Lewis, you'll find him, message him. Jillian, you're the bomb. We love you. Keep kicking ass. Guys, you guys are also doing great things with Her Take, man. It's getting more and more exciting with the stuff that's going on there. I saw in the New York Times article it was quoted, right? Was it New York Times or the Apple article that was written?
New York Times came and took some pictures on set and quoted the show. It's going well, thanks to you.
And I don't know if you guys, There's some rumors circulating, Jillian.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know if you like this rumor or not.
Uh-oh.
Some people are saying you guys bullied The View from shutting down the show, and I don't appreciate that.
They're still on hiatus? Are they still on hiatus?
Some people said you guys like bumped them a little bit.
Please,
and they're not happy about that. So if that's true or not, it is what it is. But guys, if you haven't yet read the story written by New York Times, how did Jillian Michaels, what's the last side?
End up here.
Rob,
How'd you end up here, Jillian?
put the story in the comment section for the folks to go read it. Jillian's on fire lately. Jillian, we love you. Gang, tomorrow, Ray Lewis. We will do this again. Are we doing it on Friday?
Yeah.
Because we're not doing anything next week but Friday. Because we're out of town to the vault next week. So there's nothing going on but Friday next week. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, and then we'll see you guys again the following Friday.
Get your vault tickets now.
God bless everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.